Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Lee Syatt and Joe Diaz. My name's Joe Rogan, and I host a podcast called The Experience. Dude, this poster you just brought me in. Joey Diaz just brought me in one of the dopest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. It is a poster with Leonard Skinner and the Rolling Stones. And we were talking about this on the way in here. The Nebworth Festival from 1976. America's Confederate Rockers, Leonard Skinner. And then underneath it, it says, along with the best rock and roll band in the world, Britain's own Rolling Stones. Which is kind of weird. Because you got one band that's the headliner, they're the biggest picture, and then it says the other band's the best band in the world. No. How high are we?
No, it's just, they didn't know. They didn't know. They had no fucking idea the power that these guys were bringing over. They had been on the road opening up for Ted. Ted was a powerhouse in 76.
Ted Nugent?
Oh.
Cat Scratch Fever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Free Fall,
Yeah.
Cat Scratch Fever, and then the live album.
Stranglehold.
Stranglehold.
To this day.
Nobody was messing with it. He was hunting. He was eating what he hunted. Nobody had heard these things.
He was hunting with some shitty-ass equipment, too. They had, like, old-school archery bows back then, like recurves and, like, real shitty compound bows.
Did he have, like, the whole compound then with, like, the animals and, like, the
I think
fakers?
No,
his
not
family
yet.
has had property in Michigan. He's got a couple places. He's got one place in Florida, and he's got one place in Michigan. And they're both, like, these gigantic private hunting grounds. He didn't do any coke. He just took all his money, and he bought just a giant chunk of land. And then he's got one in Texas now.
No booze, no cigarettes, no nothing.
He doesn't do any of that? He doesn't
No.
party at all?
No.
Nothing.
I think he drinks a little wine. He's fucking crazy. But it's like when those guys try to debate him. Like, did you ever see Ted Nugent versus Pierce Morgan?
No.
On gun control?
No.
He lit him up like a Christmas tree. Because Pierce Morgan didn't have all his... Pierce Morgan is like, he's a proper sounding British guy. But, like, when it gets to the fucking red line, when it gets the red line of arguments, he falls apart. Like, Ben Shapiro ate him up, and Ted Nugent ate him up. A lot of the conservative guys that are, like, really slick, smooth talkers, they can eat him up when they get into the really, like, high revs of the conversation. Because he didn't understand that a lot of the gun deaths is also bad guys that are shot by guns. Like, people that are shot by cops. Like, all that stuff is sort of calculated it in. Like, he didn't understand. He didn't have all his facts in order. So if you're arguing with a guy like Nugent, who does these kind of arguments with people, like gun control arguments, he's got, like, his words down to a T. He's done a couple of these. Did one of them in a gun store. They were in a gun store. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Play some of it.
It's hilarious. I'm on a rock and roll stage. I just sang a song about feisty. I mean, you got to be kidding me. On a rock, did you ever see Richard Pryor live? How about Sam Kinison? How about Lenny Bruce? I'm one of them. Get over it. That's some funny.
For a man who is a patriot, who purports to love his country, that was quite shocking disrespect to your president.
Let me put it in official CNN Piers Morgan interview terms. Shall I?
Yes.
My limey friend?
Yes.
Anybody that wants to disarm me can drop dead. Anybody that wants to make me unarmed and helpless, people that want to literally create the proven places where more innocents are killed, called gun-free zones, we're going to beat you. We're going to vote you out of office or suck on my machine gun.
Yes,
you can take it whichever way you want.
Much as I'd love to suck on your machine gun, the whole point of your defense is that a lot of people do drop dead precisely because you are armed to the teeth, and you'd like everybody else to be.
Not true at all. Piers,
people.
Write this down. See, you're so rich.
You write this down. 80 people a day die in America from gunshots.
And 75 of them to 78 of them, statistics by the Uniform Crime Report by the FBI and the UN Study on Violent Crime, 78 of those 80 are let out of their cages by corrupt judges and prosecutors who know that recidivism is out of control, know that they'll commit the crimes again, and they let them walk through plea bargaining, early release, and program.
They still
Kiss
can't...
my ass.
Yeah.
Where you have the most armed citizens in America, you have the lowest violent crime rate. Where you have the worst gun control, you have the highest crime rate. Piers, choose one. Do you want a lot of crime? We have it. Gun-free zones. Do you want less crime? We have that. More people with concealed weapons permit. Why do you guys resist that statistic?
Well, don't say you guys.
It's you guys.
No.
Well, unless you're playing the devil's advocate.
I can play any advocate I like.
You're
It's
doing
my
a fine
show.
job.
Right.
You're playing the idiot's advocate here.
That's not the idiot's
More
advocate.
guns equals less crime. Period.
Unless I'm wrong, and I don't want to kiss
I'll be sure to let you know,
your ass at this point, if you don't mind. Unless I'm wrong with your argument, well, you're basically saying that 90% of the gun crime comes from people let out of prison.
96%.
Right.
But go ahead.
But they still have to get access to firearms. If you had your way, there would be 10 times as many firearms, right?
Not true at
You
all.
want everyone in America to own a gun.
Not at all. I've never said that.
So what's your position?
And I got to tell you,
What is your position?
And I hope you don't edit this out. Whenever I've done interviews with guys that are inclined to be anti-gun, they always go, well, Nugent wants everybody to have a machine gun. Nugent wants all the deer dead.
What does Nugent want?
Not even close.
What do you want?
What I want is the Second Amendment. We the people, free individuals to have the right to keep and bear arms for self-defense. Find fault with that.
Shut him down. It's too good at that shit. The argument is just too weird. It's just a weird argument. I see both sides of it. If nobody had guns, if there's no guns, if nobody getting shot. But I think people would be like macheteing people more and shit.
They do something.
They do something.
So they're saying 75 out of 80 gun deaths are criminals and like bad people?
I don't know what the real numbers are, but that's what he was saying in that argument. He was saying something along those lines. Yeah, the people that die when we talk about people that die in gun deaths, a lot of the people that die in gun deaths are cons, ex-cons, people out of jail, people who have already committed violent crimes in their life, which makes sense. Most of the violent shit's going to be happening by people with a history of violence.
Well, it's crazy the penalty you get for like a ex-felon with a gun. Like Gucci Mane just get out after 2 years. This other guy has been in prison. Like you can go to prison for like 7 years. Like there's a guy who said he's Prince's son. He's in prison for 7 years, and he was a felon in possession of a handgun.
Let me ask you this: when it's a guy like Gucci Mane, who's a big-time public character, right? He's a famous guy.
Right.
Got ice cream tattooed on his face. He's fucking crazy. Right? When a guy like Gucci gets caught for something like that, do you think they make an example out of him? Do you think that they take that guy?
Well, in New York, you already have that law, the whatever law, that if you get caught with a firearm, you do 2 years.
Just period.
Period. I don't know exactly what the parameters of the law are, the Brady law or something. You do 2 years. You don't even go to court. It's 2 years automatically if you get caught with a gun without a permit. I don't know exactly the parameters.
Does that keep people from doing crimes?
What's that? That 2 years?
Yeah.
That carrying a gun for 2 years in New York? Yes and no.
Yes and no, right?
Yes and no. Some people carry a gun and all of a sudden they go, I'm not going to... What I do for a living, whatever, I don't know. It's like you're saying Gucci Man right now.
Right.
He's a high-profile guy. You're out at night. You see some crazy shit at night. There's times I'm driving after 1 and I'm like, I should have carried a fucking gun tonight. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. I don't know if... Look, we were just talking about when you came in, about Denver and Texas. Like the Make My Day law. I know people who have moved to Colorado for that law. Put that YouTube
Did
on
you
real
ever
quick.
Did you ever see the video of Sonny Liston pulling a gun?
Yes, you
on
put it
Muhammad
on the
Ali?
other day. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that before?
Never before.
No,
Never
me
before
neither.
the
Tony
other day.
told me about it.
Yeah.
Hinchcliffe told me about it. We were at the Ice House, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! There's a video of this. Play that. We'll play both of them.
Now I
Let's
want to
get
hear that.
crazy. Today we're going to just play some
I
shit.
want to hear the redneck.
Look at
dude
this.
fucking-
So he was apparently like screaming shit at Ali everywhere he went, and Sonny Liston was just tired of his bullshit.
The whole situation finally came to a head when Clay approached Liston at the Desert Inn in Las Vegas, where the champ was shooting craps and losing. Liston was in no mood to be harangued by the mouth from the south. Drawing a gun, Sonny fired, frightening his young tormentor into a hasty retreat. The gun was filled with blanks.
Holy...
Come on, son. That is one of the craziest things you're ever going to see in your life. He pulled a gun out on Ali. In the middle of a casino, shot it in the air, and then said, look, it's just blanks, no big deal. Wanted to go back to his crap game. Like, dude, what kind of environment did that dude grow up in?
Dog, I used to know a lot of people that would carry fucking starter pistols and shit. in the 70s just to get the fuck out of there. They would carry those type of pistols because you never know.
Right.
But what happens if the other guy's a real one?
Then you're fucking
fucked.
dead. Then you're fucked.
Then you're fucked. But that Sonny Liston thing was so crazy. With first of all, how casually he did that. He did it so casually, and then how he shot his jacket to let everybody know it's just blanks. Like, come on, relax. Like, no big deal. Let's just go back to the game, right? Like, he just went back to the game. He didn't go, I got to get the fuck out of here right now before TMZ shows up.
Dog, let me tell you something. Nobody runs quicker when they hear gunshots than black people. They react exactly. They know what time it is and they hear fucking that shit. Look at him. He just shoots it in the air. They all run. Wow.
It just shows you, like, Ali was so crazy.
But then didn't Ali shoot a gun at Frazier in Africa?
Did he?
Somebody shot somebody in Africa. Not shot, but pulled up to the hotel with a gun in Africa. Whether it was Foreman or Frazier, somebody, when Ali was in his hotel room, they went over, it was Frazier.
Was it?
Frazier went over there with a gun and pointed it up at the building and shit. And
Really?
Either or something crazy like that.
God, dudes were just putting guns on each other back
People
then.
weren't ready for Ali in the 60s when he started playing with your head like that. They just weren't ready for him. He would just look at him. He's still tormenting them in the casino. Still tormenting them in the casino.
I like the megaphone out of the bus window.
Yeah, exactly. And that was in front of his house. He pulled up on his lawn.
Yeah, he tormented
That's what he was
people.
doing.
Yeah,
And didn't the bus say like champ, best box in the world or something crazy?
I know, like, I'm telling you, man, I think McGregor takes it to a very high level, but you got to go back and look at the old Ali stuff. Maybe sometimes I forgot how good it was, because nobody had been like that before him.
He showed up with the gorilla face, and he insulted Joe Frazier.
What does it say? The most colorful fighter?
Yeah. World's most colorful.
Cassius Clay, the world's most colorful fighter. And this was back before he'd even changed his name. Cassius Clay. Wow. It's crazy, man. It's crazy that was in our parents' lifetime, and it seems like a different world.
In your parents' lifetime. I'm an old man, dog.
Yeah, but I mean,
still
this
remember
was
fighting him, Frazier. I still
Do you
remember being
remember?
a little kid going home, living in New York City.
What year was that? What year was Sonny Liston? I want to say that was when I was a baby. Like I was 67. Like it's 1967 or something. I don't know. When did he win the title? What year was it?
When he beat Sonny Liston?
Yeah.
Now, Sonny Liston was fucking crazy. He's the one that they didn't even know how old he really was.
No one knew how
He
old
could
he
have been
was.
fucking 90. He could have been 30. He's like a Cuban dude.
Their first fight was in 64, second was 65.
64. So I wasn't even born yet. So it was 3 years before I was born. And that was a different world, man. It's a different world. You watching that video, you're like, wow. Like
So-
America was just a different place.
So when Cassius Clay was fighting, all of the country would just stop. Like everyone and everywhere would just watch the fight.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I was living in San Francisco, and my parents went way out of our way to make sure that we watched TV because Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali, not Sonny Liston, Leon Spinks and Muhammad Ali were having the rematch. And the rematch was a big thing to everybody because Muhammad Ali was such a hero. He was so much more than just a fighter, especially then because he had gone over the 3 years of not fought because he didn't want to go to Vietnam.
What year was that? Leon 2 and Muhammad Ali.
It was in the early 70s. I want to say,
Leon had no teeth.
yeah, Leon had no teeth.
Michael was the one that fought
Yeah.
Tyson. That Tyson knocked out in Atlantic City.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I
that's
get
Michael
confused.
Spinks.
Okay.
Michael Spinks was the Jinx. He was the former light heavyweight champion. He was a light heavyweight champ for many years. He was a really good light heavyweight, really good boxer, very smart, and beat Larry Holmes for the heavyweight title. But he really wasn't a heavyweight. You know, he beat Larry Holmes when Larry Holmes couldn't pull the trigger anymore. And, you know, Michael just was real slick, real smart. He wasn't dangerous enough to, like, threaten Holmes, like, to try to knock him out. But Larry just didn't have it in the tank like he did later in life. It was a controversial decision anyway. But anyway, he beat Larry, and so he became the champ. I guess it was like IBF champ or something like that. I don't even remember. And then Tyson just murked him.
Murked him.
Oh, it was awful. That's the difference between a real heavyweight and a light heavyweight. Like, there's just a difference in frame. Like, nobody had ever done that to Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks was so good. He had a nasty right hand, dude. He was fucking dudes up at light heavyweight. But he was also had a long career, fought a lot of really tough guys, and then, you know, gets the money fight.
The night that Tyson knocked him out in record time,
Yeah.
I was never so pissed off in my life.
Why?
Because I was robbing a drug dealer, and he left the house to go to watch the fight at somebody's house. So here I am casing the fucking joint. He leaves 10 minutes before the fight. I'm still crawling through the window, fighting the dog off. And all of a sudden I hear cars. I get in my fucking car. I got the coke. But all of a sudden I see him coming back, and he calls me like an hour later. Somebody robbed my house. What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
I came back early because he knocked him out in 13 seconds. 13 seconds? What the fuck? I'll never, in Boulder, Colorado, on MacArthur Lane, I was casing the motherfucker out.
Those are the days where, do you remember the closed circuit days?
Yeah.
We used to watch fights at movie theaters.
Really?
Yeah, it was a big thing. Yeah, your friends would get together, and we'd all go to a movie theater, and we'd watch a fight on, like, closed circuit. Or they'd even have it at the Boston Garden.
I used to go to the track.
Oh, yeah?
In the Meadowlands, and that's where I saw your boy, the Detroit Hitman,
Tommy Hearns?
fight somebody, like a great fight. Like, I don't know if it was Duran or Leonard.
Duran, he murked Duran.
But he fought somebody, and we watched it on the track on a Monday night.
You ever see that knockout that Hearns, have you seen it recently?
Yes,
the Hearns Duran?
no.
Pull that up. Tommy Hearns, man, was such a freak of nature because he was so tall and long, man, and he had muscle. Like, he wasn't just tall and long. He was tall and long, but he was fucking strong. And if he caught you at the end of that right hand, I mean, it was one of the most devastating punches in all of boxing. Which is why it was so crazy that Hagler was able to just walk right through him. Hagler just walked right through him, man. Hagler could just take it like nobody else. I mean, Hagler had, like, nasty power, but one of the things that was most impressive about Hagler was you could just hit him with anything.
Him and
he
Duran
never
had a
seemed
great
to be
fight.
hurt.
Hagler and Duran had a great fight in '84. That was a great, great, great fucking fight.
Well, it seemed like Hagler really respected Duran in that fight and really didn't take it to him. He knew how dangerous Duran was. Duran was still a real sneaky boxer. This is after he had beaten Davey Moore. But see, Hearns just had this distance, man, and he could fuck Duran up at distance. He would just, like, come in with that whip of a punch. God damn, dude.
They don't even look like they're in the same weight class.
Ooh, there's a right hand that drops him. Oh, shit. They really weren't. Duran started off his career as a 135-pounder, then moved up to 147. And I don't know what this fight was probably 154, if I had to guess. Find out what this fight was at, what weight class. Because he fought as high as middleweight. When he fought Hagler, it was at middleweight. He was fighting guys at some pretty heavy weights.
Both were what,
154, yeah. So that's light middle, or super welterweight, depending on what organization calls it. But yeah, Duran was like 20 pounds over his ideal fighting weight. His ideal fighting weight was lightweight. He wasn't a big framed guy like these guys, but he still was skillful enough to hang in with them for the most part. But Hearns murked. Yeah, there it is right there. That's the Merc shot. That's one they don't even count for. When you get hit like that, they don't even bother counting.
So let me ask you something. How do you feel about guns right now at this point in your life with a family and what's going on in your life? How do you feel about guns?
This is the real problem with guns. The same problem with everything else. People are fucking stupid. There are a bunch of people that are fucking stupid. Now, if you had to ask me, do I think that everybody in this room, do I think that they are responsible enough to handle a firearm and own a firearm? Yes, absolutely. Everybody in this room is. I believe so. But is it everybody in the world? Fuck no. But who can decide? Well, that's the point of the whole law. The whole point of the law is you can't let some tyrannical dictator decide who can and can't be armed. Because at the end of the day, what we really have to worry about as much as crime is you have to worry about the government turning into crime. Because the governments of nations all over the world have fucked the people over and done shit that people don't want, imprisoned them, enslaved them. Are we supposed to ignore that? Are we supposed to pretend we're past that? We're past that completely. People will never be like that again. An armed militia is in the possibility that it all goes wrong. That's what it's for. It's not for when everything's going right. It's for when it all goes wrong. To deny the possibility that it could all go wrong, to me, you're lying. You're lying. You're pretending we're better than we are. Because you look all over the world, there's war everywhere. There's war everywhere in the world. There's murder everywhere in the world. There's robbery and thievery everywhere in the world. There's not equal. It's not equal with the amount of chances people have. It's not equal the amount of the time you do in jail if you get caught for things. There's all sorts of inequalities and all sorts of real fucking problems in the world. And to say that we've reached some utopian place where you don't have to worry about the government turning into a tyranny, bullshit. No, I don't think the government right now is a tyranny. I don't think they're controlling us. I don't think they're doing anything unbelievably oppressive. I think they respond to, in a certain extent, to the amount of pressure that people put on them. And when people say things like, we don't want to go into Syria. Remember that Syria thing? Or Obama was on TV? We're like, fuck this. No one wants to go to Syria. They're like, he's back on the Syria. He's back on the Syria. At the end of the day, people that are used to going to war like to go to war. They make a lot of fucking money doing it. And you have to be aware of that kind of shit. You got to be aware of people trying to force you into things. You got to think about Kent State. Man, that was in our lifetime. You know? During the Vietnam War, they fucking shot kids that were protesting. They shot them on the college campus for doing nothing but protesting. That wasn't that long ago, man. It's not that long ago. I'm not advocating that there should be some fucking uprising and people should pull guns. But I am saying you can't just have one group of people running other groups of people with no recourse. With no the people don't have any ability to stop them. So the people in power, we just have to trust that they're going to be good. That's crazy. Why would you do that? They're just people. And people, if you give them too much power, they almost always fuck it. They almost always abuse the shit out of it. It's very rare that someone gets into a position of power and all of a sudden does wonderful, selfless things for the world. Bullshit. They do weird things. They have weird fucking people that get paid off. They have subsidies for like oil and corn and greasy dealings with private prisons. Like, there's a lot of fucking weird shit going on in power. So to say that we're just, everything's going to be fine, we don't need guns. In England, we don't have guns and we're fine. You still have a queen. You're still in some weird fucking quasi-imperial state.
The scariest thing, though, is like if you go on Facebook and you scroll through, there's video after video of people fight. Like, that's the biggest thing now is World Star and just people fighting.
Yeah, well, that's
it scares me for all these people to have guns. Like,
that's true, too.
It's... To be honest, like with all the road rage happening, like that guy a few months ago got pulled out of his car on like Hollywood Boulevard or something.
I don't want a fucking gun to be on the offensive. I don't want a gun to be on the offensive.
Right.
I want a gun in case last night him and I were talking shit till 12:30 at night on my side street. A guy kept circling. God, after a half hour, a cop came by because somebody actually called the cops and said there's two guys standing out there. That's bullshit.
Look at you criminal-looking motherfucker.
No, we're out there just telling stories after the comedy store.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
And for a minute there, when that white car came around the second time, I thought I needed a gun. I don't know what people are thinking no more. You don't know what people are thinking.
You could zig when you could have zagged, and you could run into someone who's out of their fucking mind.
Out of their fucking minds, and you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an advocate of being armed all the time. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you can't let the government tell you whether or not you can have a weapon. It's just not, doesn't make sense.
Well, for years I had the felony. I still have the felonies. And the government tells me I can't have a pistol. Now, my crime was with a pistol. All right, did it go off? No, but there was a potential for violence. There's always a potential for violence. In my heart and in my mind, I did a probationary period already. That was 1987. I did a probationary period again, more than the probationary period. I feel in my heart right now, I'm capable of carrying a gun as much as I hate it. I fucking hate those things because I know what they bring. You know what I'm saying? I know what they bring to some people. They're not going to bring it to me because I'm not young and stupid anymore. Do you understand me? I really wanted to protect my daughter. Mm-hmm. I really wanted There's weird people doing. Every time I watch the news and I see something stupid, what happened in Houston yesterday? You see that yesterday?
No.
Some
What
fucking
happened?
soldier snapped.
No.
4
What
fucking
happened?
tours in Afghanistan, and he got some fucking machine gun. He shot somebody at a gas station. There were so many fucking bullets that the gas station blew up in a suburb in Houston. The cops were in this. You got to see the cop cars. It was like heat. Remember those cars with the windshields and shit?
So did he get in a road rage with somebody?
No. He just went into a gas station, shot a customer, and from there the party started. Walked down the street shooting. 1 dead, 6 injured. Shot up 30 fucking cars in the middle of the street. I'm walking to a movie with my daughter. I'm minding my business. Lee, instead of fucking driving, let's walk to the taco place today.
Right.
That could happen. I know this going in. When I leave my house every morning, I know this is possible.
And that's the messed up part, because he has a gun. He has the right to have a gun. But if someone else in Houston had a gun, maybe they could have shot
2
him.
dead, 6 injured, randomly just at whoever. You need that in your life? Now, I'm not a sharpshooter, but I could shoot him in the fucking leg. I believe in shooting him in the leg if I have a great cover.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to shoot the fucking guy like the cops are going to. I mean, you should have heard the tapes.
It's crazy.
Ta, 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 ta,
And that's Texas, too, where everybody's armed. But, many people are not trained. That's also a big part of the
You have
problem
no,
with firearms.
listen, brother, let me tell you something. You have no idea what happens to your body when you hear a gunshot 10 feet from you.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea. You don't know. I don't give a fuck what that. Whoa, I fought Chuck Liddell. I know. I know he knocked the fuck out of you, but you've never heard a gunshot go off.
Right.
Much less a machine gun.
You got to see people's
Right.
faces.
Right,
You
much
have to
less a
see-
machine
You have
gun,
to see
right?
people's faces. Ta, 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 ta. And you hear that clip for real. It ain't a movie. This ain't no Dolph Lundgren movie. Or what's the other guy that played the mechanic? It ain't one of these movies. This is
Jason
real, man.
Statham?
And it just shoots you. It just kills you.
Yeah.
That's why people freeze.
Yeah.
You freeze, you go into shock. People that are not used to that, they play bingo and they take their family for ice cream, they don't need that shit.
Yeah.
I'm petrified. I live in fear as it is.
I was listening to this TED podcast. It was really interesting, man. They were talking about camaraderie, and they were talking about the people that go to war together. And one of the things that they all say is that their camaraderie and their love for each other is unlike any love or friendship that anybody else could ever possibly experience. Because it's so intense, because it's like life or death every single day. And that when the wars are over and they're back home and they're happy, they're safe, they're with their family and everything, but they look back and they go, the best time of my life was being at war. Like, that's crazy. What does that say about people? This is not a judgment. I'm not a moral judgment. What does that say about people? What I'm saying is, what does that say about the way the brain works? Like, how strange is it that people can get so excited about being in danger and the camaraderie that comes from being in danger? It like reawakens us almost, puts us in this like primal state that we used to exist in. And now instead of that, worst case scenario, some guy fucking snaps and he's on the highway and he starts shooting at people. That's kind of like worst case scenario that we all worry about. But most people fucking keep it together, which is one of the most amazing things about being a person. But the experience is flat. There's not enough excitement. There's not enough happening. There's not enough stimulation. There's not enough creativity. So you live a different life. You guys are podcasting and doing stand-up shows. So there's all this outpouring of creativity. You have all this room for expression. But some people, they just feel like compressed. They feel like they've got a board tied to their chest and to their back, and every day someone pulls the fucking strap on that board, and that's every day. And it's just boring as fuck. And when they deploy and they're over there and, they're going to miss their family. Yeah, they're going to be risking their lives. Yeah, all those things are 100% true. But for them, that experience was the best time of their life. That's amazing. We're strange.
No, because you and I work in an office together. You, me, Jamie, and Lee work in an office together. We go in every Monday. We talk about the UFC. And then an hour later, it's back to fucking stocks and bonds or whatever the fuck we're doing. And then we go away on Friday, and that's it. The same works for the people I did crimes with early on. I still talk to those people because I went through a weird experience with them. Something that you don't do with most people. Something that, and they accepted me who I'm for, and I talk to this kid Timmy Holloway every fucking day. At 5 in the morning, we talk. He was the getaway driver when I robbed the jewelry store. I have a loyalty to him. We were at a light and the cops came by and the trunk opened up with the gold chains. We both shit our pants. It's, it's something about that. I always had the respect for the camaraderie. What gets you through those first 6 years of comedy when your life is shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck gets you through?
Yeah.
What gets you through? We were just talking about it right up. When I call you and I go, we're driving to Quincy tonight, motherfucker. That waitress is there. Oh, shit. Well, how much holding? I got like $11, Joey. I got like fucking 9, dog. We get a steak. We'll buy a bag of weed. How much fun. That's the best part of comedy.
It's hard to believe, right?
That's the best part of comedy. I don't give a fuck when anybody tells you standing ovations, selling tickets. The part of comedy you're going to remember is when you were with Brody Stevens in a car with Josh Wolf, and I got Brody in the back tied up in the fucking back in the Volvo, and I'm doing 100 with his car, and he's yelling, "Stop it! Normal people do not live like this." Every time I see Brody, I give him a hug now, because when I'm in that fucking box on my mission to wherever the fuck Buddha land, that's what I'm going to be thinking about. How good of a time did I have when I had $3 in my pocket? You ever read the Brother Sam book?
Brother Sam?
About Sam and
yes, I did. Sam Kinison, his brother Bill wrote it, right?
The best part of that fucking story, the best part of that whole story, that every time I see Carl, I give him a hug because I can relate, is when they talked about how broke they were, and they would walk to the comedy store to eat the fruit from the bar that the bartender would chop up.
Wow.
Who admits that? Who admits that? But you and I know that secret. And it's the same thing, man.
Well, there's a thing that's happening too when you're going on those gigs where you don't know if this is gonna be successful. Not just the gig, but this as a career. Like you're not like, I'm a comic, fucking I'm a comic. You're like, am I pulling this off? Like, is this? I got a gig now and I'm trying. I'm out here, this like me and Fitzsimmons would do these gigs and we would both be like, barely should be talking to people on stage. Barely. I mean, we were rookies, man. We were fucking rookies. And in Boston, if you could string together 20 minutes, they had so many rooms. Everybody was working. It was crazy.
Were you able to have fun during that time, or was it just
fun,
focused on
great
really
fun, unbelievable,
so fun? But I was like terrified it wasn't going to work out. Terrified that I was wasting my time. I mean, because it was a big chance. I quit everything.
I knew delivering papers or something like that.
Yeah, I kept delivering papers, but I quit teaching at Boston University, and I quit teaching classes. I said I don't want to do it. I said I don't want to half-ass it, and I'm not thinking about it the way I used to think about it. When I was teaching before, it was like it was life. I was teaching life. I was teaching people kicking and punching. It was like as important as life. It was everything. I was thinking constantly about techniques and movements and strategies and constantly. And so when I was teaching people, I wanted people to be as into it as I was. And if they weren't, I really wasn't into it. If they were, I had a bunch of students that I took up to pretty good level, below black belt, but pretty good level where they're getting really good and starting to win tournaments. It was really exciting. I was doing all this from the time I was 19 to 21. And so teaching and competing at the same time. And when I first started doing comedy, I realized right away, I was like, I gotta quit. I gotta quit everything. I just gotta do this. So it was such a fucking leap, man. Every gig, I was terrified. I was like, is this a stupid thing I'm doing? Like, what am I, retarded? Why the fuck do I think I'm funny? Why do I think I can get people to pay me to talk? And I'd see the guys that were doing it in town, the guys that were making it, and it was just like they felt just out of reach. Just out of reach. So you never, and then you'd go and you'd do some gig in Maine and get heckled and eat dick. You just fucking bomb on stage. And you go, oh my God, what else could I do? If this doesn't work out, what else could I do?
Because there was nothing else you wanted to do.
No.
I would go home at night after a bombing and just cry. And I'd circle. They used to have Just for Laughs newspaper.
Yeah,
and
I remember
go to
that.
the back section and it had all the clubs, state by state, Alabama.
Yeah.
And I would circle the clubs that I'm going to show them someday. I'm going to show them. I'm going to do that in Birmingham, and I'm going to do the Seattle Underground. And one day you're there, and you're like, wow. But it's so weird that there's so many things in life you could pay for. You can't pay for love, and you can't pay for camaraderie, man. There's something about a camaraderie a real camaraderie. You know, like sometimes when you go to jiu-jitsu and this guy fucking is on you and he taps you, at the end you get up and you hug him.
Yeah.
And you go, man, that was great. You sweat in my face. You know? Jesus Christ, I could smell the cheeseburger from last night. And that's camaraderie. You can't pay for that. But it's weird that, listen, if you're running with people every day and they got your back, I can't imagine that camaraderie. That's real.
Yeah,
I'm not
so
talking about, well, we're in a crew.
the camaraderie that we're talking about, that this makes you understand, like, what that story about these guys that want to go back. You know, like that movie Hurt Locker. You know, but that was different because that guy was kind of addicted to disarming bombs, right?
The other one, the Clint Eastwood one, American Sniper.
Oh,
he
right.
kept
Chris
going back, and she couldn't figure it out. Why do you keep going? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Because you won't shut the fuck up. Because you won't shut the fuck up. And this kid, I don't know what's going on. Let me go over and at least kill people, because then you feel. Can you imagine, Joe Rogan? Like all your life, you got thrown out of school. You know, you're car mechanic. You're lost, but all of a sudden you realize you're good at taking lives. You ever think of that? You ever put yourself in that position when you're 18 years old, 19 years old, you're in Vietnam, and you realize that you're taking your first tour back to the United States now. You finished your year, but you survived. The 11 that went over, there's 6 of them left, and you survived. And in reality, in God's eyes, you got 18 kills. Nobody knows that.
As like a 19-year-old.
Now you go back to civilization. And you got to get paid $10 an hour to change tires. Why do you think for years I kept selling Coke? Because nothing really can compare to that.
Excitement. This is excitement of doing something you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit with my wife and drink mint juleps with her fucking family. I could be killing motherfuckers right now. You know.
Yeah.
You know, you get that.
Not only that, you get a lot of love for doing that. It's like you get love and respect from the people that you work with for doing your job correctly,
But
like
then-
for manning up.
But they're not there when you're stabbing a motherfucker and your dick is getting hard and your testosterone and your heart's beating. They're not there, brother. It's like a shark when they get that taste of blood. Those 18, why do you think they ship you over there? Why do you think they want you when you're 18? Go when you're 31 and try to go in. You already got beliefs and shit.
That's what I think.
Your central nervous system has already been set. They can't get you to kill and forget. But an 18-year-old, hoorah, siempre free. What's that the Marines say? Siempre fi.
Semper Fi.
In Cuba, siempre free. Siempre free, cocksucker. You know, you can't. I thought about that. Can you imagine coming back here 25 and now you got to work at a bakery?
Couldn't imagine.
Good luck. $12.50 an hour, and you get 2 weeks a year off. Meanwhile, all you're dreaming about is fucking putting makeup on in a tree with ropes, with a machine gun and a gun and knives. Oh,
How much work do you think they put into readjusting guys,
those first 12.
reacclimating them back into society after
You want me to tell you
war?
something? You don't want me to tell you the problems we have? We don't. We can't do it effectively. It's like a guy getting out of prison after 20 years. We haven't figured out a way to do it effectively yet, that there's no mishaps. There's always going to be a small percentage. This guy in Houston yesterday did 4 tours. How old was he, Jamie? 4 tours. What the fuck are you going to do in this United States that's going to give you that tour? Unless you go on stage.
Even that. It's
And
nothing.
even that.
It's nothing in comparison.
You said earlier like how crazy our brains are. It's crazy how different. Like when I was 18, it was 2007. Like I was graduating high school, so like Iraq and Afghanistan were blown. It was right at that time, and I had friends who went over. But what you are saying is exciting. I would run away from that. There's no part of me wants that.
25 years old, 4 tours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, you're a smart guy, Lee.
No, but there's smart people there. There's like,
Yeah.
oh my,
but it's just people that are willing to do the stuff that's more dangerous because it feels better. Because it feels like even though there's risk involved, at least you feel charged up and alive. It's a life of excitement versus a life of, why do you think people climb rocks? They climb rocks because it's actually enjoyable climbing a rock? No, they climb a rock because it's fucking scary, and you don't know if you can make it. You're pretty sure you're going to make it, but there's a real risk that you get a fucking hand spasm, and you just fall for a long time until you splatter on the bottom. When you watch someone crazy like Alex Honnold...
Right, the guy with no ropes.
Does it with no ropes. We had him in the podcast. He's a super nice guy. Real interesting guy. Lives out of a van. Just travels around and climbs rocks. He's an adrenaline junkie. Okay, the climbing of the rock, it's like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to be up high, and it's sort of like a version of hiking for him because he can kind of make it. But what's really going on is you recognize that you're on the edge always. And so even if you're not, like your adrenaline's not flying, you're not freaking out, your heart's not pounding, your heightened focus and sense is keenly aware that you're holding back a waterfall of adrenaline. You're keeping it together. And so you're, a lot of times guys that are doing like crazy shit like tightrope walking and stuff like that, they're sort of addicted to trying to control. What is this guy doing, Jamie?
Is this parkour or
He's
something?
gonna do something really scary here in about 2 seconds. He's gonna land in a handstand.
No, he's not. Oh. Ah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This guy he jumped and then did a handstand
He's still doing it.
on the edge. Oh! Oh my!
Have you seen the videos of like the people on the hoverboarding on like the tops of buildings?
That might have freaked me out more than the hoverboard because that guy was upside down. And I watched my daughter do those things. They don't always land perfect. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on in Russia? What are they feeding these people? Them radioactive pigs from Chernobyl?
Those ain't Russians.
Those Russians.
Are they Russians?
Oh, you heard Russian. I heard Russian. Didn't you hear Russian? Sounded the Russian sounds.
My hands are sweaty.
I'm assuming he was Russian. Am I being racist? It's not a race, though. The only reason why Russian isn't a race is because they look like us. Right? I mean, they're totally not regular white people. No. What does it say? Does it say it's Russian? Yeah, it is Russia. See?
Jesus Christ.
Just assumed. I'm pretty sure I heard some Russian sounds, though. Yeah, we're crazy. People are crazy with the need, the juiced up need for those things. It's like, how do you feel? Don't you like feel sad when someone's a comic and then they quit, and then you see them kind of hanging around the comedy club, and they come back and hang around. I haven't done stand up in 10 years. You believe that?
I'm
You're
really
like,
happy now.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with the bullshit no more. My family's getting raised correctly, and okay, that's great. That's fucking great. I just listen, man. You're gonna do things in life that you don't like, and you recognize it, and you move on. In LA, how many people have we met? How many people are gonna be stars? How many people went to Montreal and had sitcoms?
A lot.
And all of a sudden, you don't see him no more. You just don't see him. And then one day, you go to a town and you get a Facebook. Hey, I had to come back because my uncle died, and I'm doing a podcast. And can I do a guest spot? And you're like, nope. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. I mean, I just don't know what's going on anymore.
The whole guest spot thing's a weird thing. You know, it's weird to ask people to come on a professional show if you're not a professional. Like, I get it. Like, that's how people get better. They do guest spots. But that should be something that somebody asks you for. It's, like, would you like to do a guest spot? Like that, like, check you out on stage in front of 3,000 people. But to, like, ask to do that, like, because we all know, like, some comics that are weird. They'll, like, show up at your shows and ask to do guest spots.
Oh, my God, I didn't know you were here tonight.
Yeah. Like,
I was just driving by. Really?
But you're backstage?
I'm in fucking Ontario off the thing, and you didn't know I was here tonight.
You don't see my name out there?
I made a rule about 2 years ago. I love comedians. I know what it is to be a comic. So I'll tell you what I do. I know what it was like for me to feature and to need that $400 for rent. And all of a sudden you get a call the week before that the headliner's bringing a feature. I get it. So I made a deal. I won't bring a lot of features, but I'm not doing guest spots. And the word gets out. It's so crazy. The word really gets out when you don't do guest spots. People won't show up to your shows no more.
That's interesting.
Which I don't want them at
Whereas
my show.
before they were showing up and they're
Hey,
trying
how
to
you
get
doing?
on.
They want to hang out in the green room. And here's my philosophy on it. If you're so funny, you wouldn't be here. Go get on stage.
Yeah, well, you'd
Go
have
get on
gigs
stage.
booked.
And, people come to the green rooms and they want to hang out. And that's great. I love seeing my old friends and stuff, but I'm working right now, and you're not working.
Well, not only that, you don't have to be on that show. Here's the thing. Like, when I was a kid and I was starting out, I loved going to shows. I still love going to shows. I don't have to be on stage to enjoy a show. So if I go to a show, then I'm like trying to get a guest spot on someone's show and I don't even know that person or I barely know that person. That's fucking weird. I never did that. I don't know anybody who did that. None of us did that. You either got asked or you just kept working. You kept doing shows that were at your level until you got better. That's just what everybody does. Like this guest spot thing, like that is not how it works. You can't just show up and get on in front of a couple thousand people.
I didn't have 2 gigs the other night. I lied to you because I knew you were going to ask me to come up to the Ice House. But I know you're working on your hours.
Yeah, but I don't care. I want to have fun.
I don't want to disrupt nobody.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
You know, sometimes I go to the Ice House and there's 18 guys up before you. And I go, this isn't right. This poor guy did us all a justice. And now motherfuckers are doing 20 in front of me. You know, and I go up there and do 8 and he gets mad at me because I know what it's like to feel. When I get to the fucking club at 8, I'm ready to go. Steam's coming out of my nose. I got to eat 2 stars to calm me down. I already ate. I worked out. I'm fired up. I got to wait through 3 fucking comics now. The last 15 minutes, I'm pacing back there like a fucking animal. You know, I just want to get up there and do my fucking thing, and now I got to wait. And it's not that. It's just that some comedians come into a room to ruin the show. Well, I'm going to blow this fucking place up. And they really blow away. When I get down Thursday, you work with the other 2 guys, you get the niche, you see who you're already working with, and then some guy wants to come in Saturday. Like, oh, my God, I didn't know you were in town. Can I do a guest? It's not going to happen.
Especially Saturday, because you get 2 shows.
Yeah, I got 2 shows, especially fucking Friday.
Yeah.
And it's like, my heart goes out to you as a comic. I know what it is to be a struggling comic, but there's nothing going on here.
Well, who does let guys do guest sets? Who does? Like, what?
There's a lot of comedians.
National headliner just lets local guys do guest sets.
I don't know.
And don't you have to worry about like putting on a good show? Like if you put on a guy who's terrible and they just ruin a show, these people paid a lot of money for a show.
I let someone have a guest spot once, and this was on a show with like one of those Ice House type shows, like 10 people on, and he bombed so bad that it tanked the rest of the night because people had to sit through 10 minutes of like really clumsy, shitty jokes, like from someone who like barely does comedy. You know, I had to find out later. And then afterwards, like the audience had a lowered expectation, whereas before it'd be like Ian Edwards, Tony Hinchcliffe, Tom Segura, smash, 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 and everybody would be experiencing that all night. Well, there was this 10-minute gap where it was just sludge. Just like really shitty ideas and just not done well, and the audience went, whoa. Like you could see them get super bummed out.
Yeah, especially when you're on a good show like that. Like I've been lucky enough to go the past few weeks to the store with Joey. When it's really good shows, it's fun. But when there's like, I went to a show once and there was a magician on stage, and I think of him because I know he hates it. But it's so weird how important it is to build a good show and to build shows like comics who go well together. You can't just throw comedians up there and have a good show.
The problem is like people are friends with people that you know. And then, you know, you know them and they know you and they, hey man, can I do one of those Ice House shows? Yeah, sure, come on down, do a set. I'll see. And then you just go, oh no, what has happened here? Jesus fucking Christ. And if you do that, like this guy like had just written jokes that day and was doing them that night. He had never done them before. Like tried to do like a whole. It's a long ass story, but when that does happen, the audience feels like you fucked them. You know, like people always say like, why would I take the best comedians on the road with me? Like, dude, wouldn't you want to like stand out in front of the other comedians? Oh, the audience feels like you fucked them then. Like you made up for the fact that you fucked them by being really funny for the last hour and 10 minutes, but you know you fucked them for the first 20 minutes if you fill in the blank with the name of the comedians. There's a bunch of crazy fucking comedians that will open for other like national acts, and they don't work anywhere else. They just they work as like opening acts for big time national acts who don't want to be like showing up on stage. They don't want someone going on before them and being really funny.
But isn't that the point of the opener, to warm them up? Like that's why they have studio warm-up people for TV shows, because they want them to have good energy and be excited.
Warm them up to a degree. There's a lot of comics that want you to warm them up to a degree that you really have to hold back a little bit because they're the star of the show.
They're so stupid.
Well, we come from the school of thought. We want everybody to be fucking great. Because if the guy in front of me is fucking great, while I'm back there ticking watching this, I'm going to come out throwing 92 miles an hour. If the guys in front of me is lackadaisical, it happened to me. One time with you on the road, we left the get set up. The guy's energy was low. He sucked me in with it. I went up there and bombed because of him. Because I didn't want to make him... It was so bad. Like I said, I'm not going to do material now. I just go up there and talk.
There's a bad thing that does happen when you watch really bad comedy, like someone who's like real amateur level comedy. Something weird happens where you get confused as to what's funny and what's not funny. It's almost like a smoke screen, like one of them ink things that a squid shoots out. Like you see someone on stage that's really new and really bad, and just you got to get out of the room. It's like your mind can get locked into their way of thinking. Because that's what I think is happening anyway on stage. I think the reason why comedy is so funny is because you're thinking like that guy. The guy's taking you for a ride. And when you let a bad comedian take you for a ride, like you get stuck in like what they're doing on stage. Say if they're doing like real obvious hack material, cop donut jokes, tampon chug, price check, that kind of stuff, and the audience is really laughing, you'll get confused. And your whole you have to shut them out. Like, la, la, la. You got to listen to some music. You got to go on stage fresh like they didn't exist. You're better off not seeing them.
I don't want to see them no more. I come out like Gladiator.
Yeah.
You have to come out of that cage like Gladiator. I don't want to get caught up. Like Saturday early show, I'll watch the other acts, and I'll start getting into it. But until then, I want to come out of the box like a fucking savage.
Right, but if you're working with people that you love, like if you were doing a show with Duncan and Ari, you'd probably watch a lot of their set.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Yeah.
That's the cool thing about when we do the road together. We watch each other's shit. It's fun. It's like I get to see a show and do a show. It's fun.
I love going to the store, sitting in the back and laughing.
Me too.
That's one of my all-time favorite things. To get down there a little early. Like you get spots at 10:45, you get down there at 10, and you watch a few guys, and it really gets you in the swing of things. Like it really does get you going, But I don't want to sit there all night either.
Well, that's the cool thing about the store. There's always some shows going on somewhere. It's 3 rooms. You can move around, watch a bunch of different shit. I think that's not to be taken lightly. I think with anything. I think if you were, if you were a knife maker, if you were really into making custom knives, you'd want to be around other dudes who make those things. That's why they have those expos where people get together and so what have you been up to, man? What's going on here?
I made this new knife, man. This thing is stainless steel.
Look at that.
Yeah,
There's a dude who, Anthony Bourdain, did this thing when he's done these videos about people making shit. This guy makes knives with metal from meteors.
Where does he get the meteors?
Meteors. Like they fucking land on Earth. They
You can
pick
just buy
them up.
them?
Yeah, you can buy them. Fuck. And they're super expensive. So he's getting his iron from space. Look at this guy.
Whoa.
Look at that fucking knife. Come on, dude. It's a Kramer knife. This guy makes these things by hand. See if you can find the video, because it's fucking crazy. He's got like this hearth. I guess that's what you call it, right? What do you call it when it's some sort of an oven where he's baking these knives? But with Bourdain is like he's a real lover of craftsmanship. So this guy is making these things sort of in a similar way to the way samurais made them, where you have big plates of metal and you compress them and heat them up and smash them and get all the layers into one layer. But it's all done with iron that he's getting from fucking meteorites.
Now, what's the difference between the iron and the meteorites?
Just, it's cool. You could say it's from space. Makes you.
So it's not a strong iron or nothing like that. It doesn't last underwater.
I think, as far as I know, there's ways to harden iron and steel.
Well, it survives coming through the atmosphere.
Yeah, we're talking about steel. They're making steel, but using the iron from space, I don't think has any benefit. I think it's probably just really cool looking and awesome to say. It's just fucking steel. It is what it is. Right? Isn't that correct, Jamie? Does that make sense?
It's not like the Captain American shield that they got from the
right.
and shit like that.
Exactly. So this dude, I think his name is Steve Kramer. Bob Kramer, excuse me. Bob Kramer. And Bob Kramer throws this giant chunk of metal in this unbelievably hot oven, and then he pulls it out, and he puts it in this machine and hammers it, and he's just talking about all the different methods of hardening steel and adding carbon and all the things that they add during the process. But it's crazy, wild shit, man. Look at this. So he pulls out this orange and white glowing thing, and it pounds it down. So he takes it, and all those layers get smashed down into a thinner and thinner layer, and it just keeps doing it over and over again until it becomes like a blade. It's wild shit, man. So when it's down to being a blade, that fucking thing is so compressed and smashed down. Just really interesting shit. So what is the name of the video if people want to watch it? Rawcraft with Anthony Bourdain. He's got a bunch of these he's done. I don't know how the fuck that guy has so much time. He does so much shit. There's like a few of those guys where I feel lazy. Dude does personal speaking gigs. What are you eating over there, Joey Diaz?
Pralines, pumpkin seeds.
A little bit of nature bugs, Joe Diaz.
A little bit of nature bugs. Never killed nobody.
This guy's making fucking swords. I mean, those guys want to be around each other, you know? Like, if you're making knives like that, you're going to want to be around other people who make knives as well. It's like, one of the things about places like the store is we can all meet each other and hang out. Like, the other night at the bar, like, Stanhope, Ron White, me, a bunch of us just hanging. I'm like, well, where's there a place like this where we can meet, like a fucking saloon where fellow travelers can meet?
I gotta tell you something, Ron White is really taken to the store.
He has.
He's really taken to the store. Like, he's one of the guys now. He gives you a big hug. Mm-hmm. He's got a drink in his hand. He's happy as fuck up there.
Yeah.
He goes up there. He murders the fucking room in a slow, methodical way. But at first, he would just stay back there and go, what the fuck is this shit? This ain't right in here. And I watched him. I've been watching him just become a guy at the store.
Yeah, he's always in the back bar. He's always hanging out.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, bro, he's always at a bar.
Yeah.
If there's a bar open, he's close by to it, within walking fucking distance, okay? That guy's the real fucking deal.
Yeah. No,
he shows up with his own bottle and ice cubes.
Well, he has his own brand.
Right.
He has his own brand of tequila. What is it called again?
Get fucked up.
Something.
That's what it's called.
Something Juan. Something Juan. Fuck's it called?
Drink number Juan. Number Juan.
Number Juan? Yeah, that's it. Number Juan. How racist. Number Juan tequila. Pa-bam! It's good shit. It is really good shit. He had it at, I mean, as far as that stuff goes, it all tastes like shit, really. You know, I mean, let's be real. Even the best tasting tequila tastes like shit.
The best tasting ever, all that alcohol. I never get it. People like sit there and like, wine, I started to like wine. I could drink a glass of wine. You know, it's still alcohol, though.
I still like Jack Daniel's shots.
It still bothers the shit out of me.
Tastes like shit, and I love it.
You know, you're talking about that. I still remember I was a little boy in New York City when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier. Like, I lived on 88th Street. Mm-hmm. Like, I still remember how big that event was. Like, if you ask me about events in New York City, one is Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. Two, in the early 70s when Elton John came to New York City, he fucked that city up. Captain Fantastic and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. When I was a kid, he fucked up traffic. Michael Jackson fucked up traffic in 84. You know, he did a couple nights at the Garden. But Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, when I was a kid, was fucking huge. It was huge. I remember crying. I wanted to watch it. I tried to get a blowjob from my babysitter. I was a kid. She was a Puerto Rican chick named Tita. And I kept asking her about blowjobs. She goes, I'll give you a blowjob. So I gave her a bag filled with quarters that I had. And she came into the room, and I took a shower. I combed my hair. I put cologne on. And she came into the room and blew on my stomach and said, that's a blowjob, and took my $20. I almost fucking killed the dog. I cried myself to sleep. That morning, I woke her up, like, I got to talk to you. My mom was like, what is it? In broken English, on my Tita stole my $20. She said she's going to suck my dick, and she did. My mom's like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're like 6 or 7. What are you talking about? I said, I wanted a blowjob. I gave her $20, and then she took my $20. I'm going to fucking kill her, Ma. And my mom was like, are you fucking crazy? Why would she suck your dick for $20? She can get 50 at a bar. Why would she suck your little helmet dick for $20 and shit?
You were how old?
6, 7.
How old was she?
32. When did Muhammad Ali fight Joe Frazier the first time? 71 maybe, right? 71. I was probably 8. I was a little kid, man. My
She
mom had
stole your money.
Oh, my mom had to give me back the 20. I made my mom give it back to me.
Your mom gave it to you?
Yeah, my mom said, what would it take to make this problem disappear?
So she gave you 20 just to shut you up?
Yeah, because she knew I would hit Tita in her sleep. I would kill her in her sleep. She would sleep on the couch. The babysitter fell asleep on the couch.
Oh,
I'm
my
"Listen,
God.
Either you give me the $20 or I'm going to fucking kill her right there in her sleep." Shit. My mom's like, "Are you fucking crazy? I'll give you the 20. Just leave Tita alone." I didn't talk to Tita for a year, dog.
You should never talk to her again.
When was it? 71. Yeah.
71.
I was 8.
And she's ripping off little kids.
She was great, though, Tita. I had great babysitters growing up. I didn't like my mom going out at night. My mom had the bar, so I would spend the whole day with my mom. And then at night, she'd have to go to the fucking bar. And it would drive me crazy, Joe. I want to go to the bar.
Right.
You can't go to the bar. You go to school. I don't give a fuck. Let me come protect you.
Bars are weird.
I would fucking wait for her to get to Jersey, and then I'd cause a war in the house. And she'd have to get back in the car and come over to 88th Street, fuck me up, put me to sleep, get in bed with me and lay down, and then she would go back to the bar and fucking close it. I put her through hell, man. Hell. And then when we moved in Jersey, I would call her up. I was scared at night because I thought the house was haunted. So I would call her up and then, "You gotta get down here." I'd be crying and shit. Finally, she goes, "Just take a cab to your friend's house, sleep over there." There was a year I didn't sleep at my house, you know.
Really?
Like a year. When I was in the 7th grade, I didn't sleep at my house. Never. I would go there after school, get clothes, and go to my friend's house and sleep there and live there. I was scared of fucking ghosts and shit.
My grandparents insisted their house was haunted. They had a guy during the 50s who rented a room upstairs. So a local guy was a bachelor, and he just rented a room because, people did that back then. They were poor. And that guy died. I think he died while he was at the house. I don't remember. But they insisted that the fucking guy was still, like, walking around. They'd hear him walk around. I lived there for months when I first moved.
Nothing.
Never heard shit. Then I realized, you know what a lot of that is? People just get bored. They want there to be a ghost. They want something crazy to be going on. They're bored. They don't have any excitement. And so the only excitement is like being in that room in the dark and having feelings about something that's not even real. You're like, "Oh, I feel something. I feel a presence. I feel a presence. There's a presence. There's something in this room. There's something in this room. We got to get the fuck out of this room." Meanwhile, nothing happened. It's just you're in the dark. You're in the dark in an old house. But you're bored as fuck. That's what it is.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know, dog. I lived in a haunted fucking house, Jack.
When?
My mother bought this house in North Bergen, New Jersey, on Givenad Terrace. Givenad Terrace was originally the Givenad, what's when kids die? When parents die.
Orphanage.
Kids go, it was an orphanage. The orphanage set fire in the 40s. So they took Charles Court and Givenad Terrace and built it over this orphanage. There was an article about it on Facebook about 6 months ago about the whole Givenad Terrace fucking spooky shit.
Yeah.
So in that house my mother bought, the reason why my mom got in that with the alias was because we came in with heavy cash and the guy killed himself in the garage. All right, the guy hung himself in the fucking garage in the 60s, so his kids were selling the fucking house.
Wow.
We didn't know about this. I never knew about this till years later. Once we moved in, remember in the beginning I was going to Catholic school, so I only slept there on the weekends. Once I moved in full time, like in the 6th and 7th grade, was when I would hear the ghosts at night.
What'd you hear?
I would hear them coming up the fucking stairs and shit, and I would cry and yell.
Right.
So they sent me to the Santeria lady's house, and she told me to put a glass of water under my bed with a red towel on the top. And I would sleep better, but I would still hear fucking noises at night. I was fucking, and that's all that spooky shit. Now, do you remember when we did Tom Likas years ago and my friend called?
Mm-hmm.
The girl, "Joey, how are you, Coco?" Okay.
Right.
Her brother died on that block. When he was 16, 15, he died on that block. They're Sicilians. And if you think Cuban people are creepy with their Santeria and shit, nobody's creepier than old school Sicilians. I mean, she broke it down. She kept telling me, "I told my husband Sicilians don't live on dead-end streets because they're bad luck." Like they broke. Like when I see them now, they still fly out here, the specials, and come.
Dead
to my
end
house.
streets are bad luck.
Oh yeah, the Sicilians. I mean, she's an old school Sicilian that she took the eyes from fishes to help people see better. To help people. You ever see the movie Sleepers? You ever see the movie Sleepers?
Which movie is that?
Sleepers about
That
the
one
four
with
kids.
heads explode?
No,
that's Scanners.
Fucking heads explode. This is about
Sleepers.
the four kids who rob a hot dog man, and by mistake a guy dies, and they send him to a jail.
Who's in it?
Look, all-star cast. Brad Pitt. De Niro was the priest.
I do
The
believe I saw
book is
that.
a lot better. The movie
Yeah.
sucked because they put too many stars in the movie.
Too many
But it's
fucking
about four
stars.
fucking kids that get sent to an orphanage and they get beat up or whatever the fuck it is. But before that, they go to work for a mob boss. If you've ever watched any mafia movie, every mafia movie blows the characters. The only mobster that was ever any good in any Italian movie besides Marlon Brando was the guy that played the mobster in this movie. See if you can find Sleepers King Benny. King Benny was a bad motherfucker. He was an Italian actor that they recruited to come over. He didn't even speak that good of English. Wait till you see the King Benny. But King Benny's explaining to him that he takes the eyeballs to this lady for headaches. When I was a kid, look at King Benny. King Benny is a bad motherfucker. There's a part where King Benny has to go deal with fucking brothers in Harlem. And the guy says to him, man.
But you said this movie sucks.
The movie's a 5. But him, you know who's in this movie? Your chubby buddy. The guy you did softball with. That movie.
Mike Starr?
No. The Spanish
Louis?
kid that you did that series with. He was a Spanish kid.
Louis Lombardi? No,
No.
he's Italian.
Puerto Rican kid.
Puerto Rican kid. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He plays,
the kid that he went on. He was
see
in
if they have a
Lost.
scene from that. See if
He
they
was
have-
in Lost.
No.
No?
No. The kid, the Spanish kid, he plays Fat Mancho. See if they have the scene from Sleepers with the black guy when the black guy says to him,
See if they have the scene from
Oh.
a movie that sucks.
No. He says to him, dog, look at you. You bring style to the game. The Italian guy goes, I cannot help you. My tailor is dead. I mean, this guy's got lines in this fucking movie. And they never talked. He died years later. Like they were saying, who the fuck is this guy? The guy is just a monster. My point is, it's not about fucking Sleepers or the fucking guy.
What's the point?
I have no idea. I'm too
Jesus
stoned.
Christ. I'm like, I wonder how he's going to wrap
We
this
were
up.
talking about four kids and shit. Like what?
Sicilians.
Oh, the Sicilians.
Well, we're
How-
talking about bad luck blocks, dead ends.
They just have a spooky belief. So they came to me years later and were telling me all about this block, how many people had bad luck on that block after that. Like the Maloneys died from cancer, both of them, the parents, the O'Rourke's died from cancer, the girl across the street died in a car accident. Raul, I just robbed him. Raul and his family, I just took his stereo and I wouldn't let him in my fucking bedroom for years. How do you rob somebody's house? And I hung out with the kid because years later we became friends. While they were moving in, I robbed Raul and his family, and I took the stereo. Some kid took the fucking desk. It was amazing. And now
Do you talk to him anymore?
Raul, no. Raul ended up fucking moving to the Bronx in the 8th grade overnight. They left. They owed money on the rent. So, but he would come to my house and go, "Can't we go to your room and listen to the stereo?" That's not a good idea.
Hilarious. Terrible.
No.
Do you ever look back on your past and go, how the fuck did I become like an upstanding citizen? How did I become a
fucking
regular
day.
person?
Last night I was telling these stories that I was shaking.
Well, I remember when I first met you, you were always a great guy, but you were way more dangerous. Like you were a dangerous person. Like you could do some ridiculous shit. You were very volatile.
There's a part of me that's a very, very nice, law-abiding person. There really is. There's a part of me that's always wanted to try to be a nice person. But there's a part of me that does not comprehend a part of human behavior. Because it would not be allowed how I was raised, by no means at all.
What do you mean?
It's just stupid human behavior that I see every day now. It would
I
not
see.
be acceptable
Right.
in how I was raised or how the people I grew up were. So when I look at that on behavior, my head explodes. I really can't handle it. And I didn't I got a beating when I was 19. That was such a great beating. It was worse than the one that Bernard Hopkins put on Felix Trinidad. And that's the day I made my decision. My hand-to-hand combat days are over. Like, I don't need this shit in my world. If you come into my world and you're disrespectful, I'm going to hit you with a weapon. I'm going to hit you with a chair or a bottle. I threw a lot of bottles at the store, dog, a couple glasses.
You definitely threw some shit at the store.
I don't fuck around with people because I don't like people fucking with me. I'm really sensitive. I don't know how to handle it.
But see, I think it's one of the things we were talking about when we were talking about people who go to war and how they get addicted to that feeling, and then it's almost like that becomes their world, right? Well, I almost feel like with some people they become like real addicted to like bad situations. You know,
you get addicted to drama in your life.
Right.
You don't know how to handle life if there's no drama in your life. There was times I would rob Joe Rogan, knowing that Joe Rogan knew I was going to rob him, and my state of mind was, now what? Now what? Now what?
So
how are you going to get this back?
You'd cause an issue
because I didn't know how to live without the swirl of danger.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest. The last 10 years I did blow were not because of an addiction. The last 10 years I did blow because I was addicted to that state of mind. You were always in need of something. Mm-hmm. The thrill was going to get the Coke and driving home with the Coke in the car. Yeah,
that's something that when you told me that, it was the first time anybody had ever articulated it that way. Like, what you were addicted to was not even necessarily the drug, it's the whole thing, the driving, the danger, the police, going into the guy's place to buy it, the cop.
Everything. I would look at myself after snorting at 2, 3 in the morning and see this person I didn't even recognize in the mirror. I wouldn't even want to look at him because I was so ashamed that I let that position take over my mind. It wasn't the fact of the coke or the whatever or the getting my dick sucked or the doing dirty things. It was the fact of getting it and driving and fronting it and all the scamming that went with it. And somebody told me when I got locked up, they said, you think of all the time you put into scams. Think of it, you put that time into doing something on a positive level. There's no surprise that my life has changed as much as I did without the drugs, because 60% of your mental state was always in those drugs.
Yeah.
No matter. The other 40 was in comedy. The other 37 was in comedy, and the other 3 was in God knows what the fuck it was. But 60% of your day is dominated by that addiction, or whatever drives you.
And with some people, they've described it as like the addiction, and having that addiction was like almost like a built-in excuse to not live up to their full potential in anything they're trying to do.
Absolutely. For starters, it's the personal blame. You want that just in case if you fail. You always have a fucking excuse.
Right.
Well, what did you expect? I was having those problems those years. You didn't have a problem. Having a problem is when, you get fucking shingles or your family member has cancer. That's a problem that happens in life. The coke and all that shit is your own man-made dilemma. Are you with me? Like, these are the things you create. All these things you create. You know, I think about that last year I did blow. I was ready to call 60 Minutes. Like, I think of this state of mind right now. Like, I had already a pitch for 60 Minutes to explain to them that I had found the cure for cocaine. That if you do heroin on Mondays, just a little bit, you will not snort the rest of the week. Like, I was really going to pitch 60 Minutes. I was going to get an agent and go to CBS and go, listen, I got a groundbreaking idea. There's no reason for rehabs. We'll get that white powder you motherfuckers are going to war for. And we'll get that little white poppy seed. We'll make it into some pill. And we'll get people high on Monday, because the rest of the week I didn't want to get high. How crazy is that? So I was doing heroin on a Monday, and it wouldn't let me do coke the rest of the week. I look forward to Mondays. Fuck CSI Miami.
Why only Monday?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea. That was just the day
You got to start
I
the week off right.
Yeah, that was just.
And this is snorting it.
Yeah, snorting it. 2 little lines of heroin just to get me out.
And what does it do? Like, what's the feeling? Tell me what it feels like when it hits you.
Oh, it takes a couple minutes to hit you, and you feel this weird thing, and then you feel like your blood pressure going up, and you feel like this euphoric warmth. You feel like this fucking warmth. I felt like my body. You ever take a wet shit? It's warm, and you can see if you shit outside, steam's gonna come out of it.
Right.
That's what your body feels like, that warmth. And then I would get an urge to puke. For a couple minutes, I would gag and puke. A little bit would come out of yellow, and then after I puked a little bit, I would just go into this state of fucking momo-ness for 4 hours. It was like smoking indicas all day, and
Momo-ness.
like just sitting there smoking cigarettes, looking out a window, and I'd make believe I was writing John Lennon type lyrics to jokes until I looked at them the next day. This brilliance about a refrigerator. Like I remember writing a bit about a refrigerator once, and looking at it the next day and say, thank God I never tried. You know what I'm saying? Like little things, like just.
Well, that was Hedberg's drug of choice, and his jokes. Man, I mean, I think he's probably the best non sequitur joke guy ever, because all his jokes are unrelated. It's like, here's a non sequitur. Here's some other things I was thinking about. Here's something I thought. Here's something I saw. And it was like, I was listening to it the other day. It's like half of his jokes were only funny because he was saying them, you know, but they were hilarious. Like he had a way of doing it that was kind of like heroin comedy, you know?
Would
like,
you be messed up during the week, or no?
Who?
You.
It'd take me a day to recover on Tuesdays. I'd be out. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I was doing the heroin, and I wasn't doing coke. So I was really fucking
And so
happy.
you would be like sober Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'd look forward to the big bump on Monday.
Yeah, that kid's dead. He used to send it to me. He used to send me $7 bags.
What kid?
His name was Bonehead. He died from an OD.
How weird.
Yeah.
Figured that guy was going to live forever.
I knew
Bonehead?
I knew Bonehead from the time. Rest in peace. You know what?
You lost Bonehead, bro.
Let me tell you something about Bonehead. Bonehead was like your boy. He was. I could go into a room with 90 motherfuckers, and Bonehead will liquidate 10 of them. Bonehead was a bad motherfucker, dog. I love Bonehead had 3 brothers. I loved all of them. But Bonehead was, and 2 of the brothers were very successful. And believe it or not, Bonehead was successful as a plumber. He had his own company. He only went out crazy at night, Bonehead. Bonehead, when I was 17, would take me to McSorley's Ale House in New York City. No ID. He'd call the bartender over and give him 3 mugs of beer, give him 3 mugs of beer, and give him a bowl of chili. And Mughead would take $10 from the both of us, and he'd go to Washington Square Park, and he'd come back and he'd give me 8 Valiums. And by the meantime, he would go buy his heroin, and he'd buy these mixture of pills, and he'd melt them too, the black and whites. Then he'd take us to a strip club in New Jersey or something. Then he'd take us home. And the next day, 7 in the morning, there's Bonehead in the fucking plumbing van up in Dandy. He was a functioning addict. He wasn't like your regular.
There's a lot of those guys out there.
And he had a chick that was a 13.
Really?
She was half Asian, half Irish.
Good Lord.
And they used to do heroin together, and they'd pass out in the living room, they'd fuck, and they'd both go to sleep. And then I'd be in the bedroom, because I just moved in with Bonehead's family. Okay, they were Italian, bro. They were real fucking Italians. And the mother was the first person who ever made me an egg cream. She was a little Irish chick, and she used to say the word Earl. She couldn't say oil, and she was the bookkeeper for Union 52, whatever, the Teamsters, the Laborers Union. You know, I was over there one day when I was 16. She goes, "You got a book? Nah, walk me to work tomorrow. I'll get you a book. You can start fucking being a hottie." So I, like a hod carrier. Like
Hot carrier?
Yeah, they're for brick masons.
Oh, okay.
So she goes, "I can get you with the Italians over by the brick masons," because she was from Hoboken. So she got me a book. I financed it. She got a loan shark to finance it. I love these people. If I'm thinking I don't like doing documentaries, but I need to do a documentary about this family, because it's the rise and fall of an American family that I saw before my eyes. As a child, I went over there and ate with them. You know, I hung out with all 3 brothers, by the way. Like, I wasn't just friends with Bonehead. I hung out with Chrissy Fish, and I hung out with the little, whatever his name was. But Bonehead was my nighttime guy. Bonehead used to take me into the murky waters of the underworld. He could get me guns and shit. Now, the medium brother was a drug dealer in the 80s, and he sold big times coke, and he used to buy jewelry, and he used to put them in a tackle box. So one night, me and the younger brother in the bed sleeping, Bonehead comes in to borrow money from us because he was going to the city to get heroin. He goes, and I go, Bonehead, I got to go to the bank. I don't have any money on me. He went into his brother's room, and instead of his brother was sleeping, the drug dealer, instead of just opening up the tackle box and taking $40 out, he took the whole tackle box. And it had $40,000 in cash and another $30 in jewelry. He went to the Bronx. These are the best times of my life. You want to talk about comrades? This is the best time of my life.
This is your war stories?
And you thought the house was haunted, and that was scary.
No. This was not a haunted house at all. These people were decent Italian people. The dad was a longshoreman, and the mom was in charge of the Teamsters Union. And they hung out with Westies. They hung out with the mother was friends with this dude that was a whatever for the Westies, and he used to get me jobs. He would get me jobs casing joints. You know, when you have a summer job, he would tell me, come here, I want you to go in that warehouse. I'm going to give you 200, and they're going to give you 180. I want you to go in that warehouse and write down all the alarms and tell me where the safe is, who walks around the safe, and he would pay me money. This is a great house, dog. Old school Italian house, but back to Bonehead. Bonehead has the fishing tackle box. He's about to go upstairs to buy heroin and shoot it. He puts the tackle box in the garbage can in front of the building and puts a lid on it. When he's upstairs shooting heroin, the garbage men come. And they take the 40 large with the 30,000 in fucking jewelry. Do you understand me? I mean, this was nonstop. Another night, Bonehead came home high on heroin. And he decided to make French fries. So he put the pot out. Remember in the 80s, they had those pots you could bring it home with the hot oil, and they would boil, and you could throw French fries. America went crazy over them. I forgot what they were. Crazy. Everybody was
French fry machines.
Everybody was making onion rings and shit. Well, he did heroin and knotted up.
Left that thing running.
And the thing went on fire. We're
did.
all in the fucking house.
Oh, Jesus.
All right?
It's oil.
I wake up to ba-boom and alarms, and all of a sudden Kurt's waking me up, and we go out of the house, and the father's outside, and the grandmother, and the fire department crawls on top of the roof, Joe, and they're hitting the fucking roof to let the smoke out, and fire trucks are coming from the side laying water, and they got the sirens. In the middle of all this, it's 8 in the morning, and we all look around and go, oh my God, Emil's still in the house. Bonehead was still in the house on fire. Bro, they turn the fire off, they go in. He's still with his feet up, with his hands crossed.
Just heroin out of his mind.
Watching TV like nothing happened.
He slept through the fire?
Oh, my God, everything. When they woke him up, he goes, are my fries ready? This is how crazy this family was. Are my fries ready?
Are my
They're like,
fries
Bonehead,
ready?
we have 2 fucking battalions out there. We got half of 9/11 out there.
Oh, my God.
And you're still fucking sleeping.
Oh, my God.
They burned the house down.
Burned the fucking kitchen down and half the bedroom. They had to move into a hotel for 6 months. And they had a grandmother downstairs who was old school Italian, but she couldn't smell. So every time we smoked pot, we'd just go down there and blow smoke in her face. And grandma would pass out in a wheelchair, and that was the end of it. I mean, it didn't stop. It didn't stop.
Jeez.
So this is why you get mad at people for binge watching stuff on Netflix, and this is what you were talking about.
I get mad at everything, Lee. What do you got to bother me for? I get mad when people are like, he used to hide the coke. The medium brother used to hide the coke under his car. And I'd be walking down the hill, and I could see a little container under there. He didn't even have a Maserati. What's the other Italian car?
Fiat.
This is how much of a guineas these motherfuckers were. What's the other Italian car?
Well, it's Fiat, like you said.
The Avanti.
Avanti. Oh, okay, I remember those.
Remember that piece of shit?
That was a piece of shit.
Those are pieces of shit. Can you show me a piece of car of an
I
Avanti?
don't trust anything Italian.
Oh my God, that was he tried to sell it to me once. It was like it's worth 20. I'll give it to you for $2,000. Yeah, then I drive it down the corner, it blows up.
Like I feel like even if you buy a Ferrari, I feel like if you drive that thing, it's gonna fall apart. I trust German cars. You know, I don't trust people like me making cars.
What's the other one? The other one, that Lamborghini, is that Italian?
Those things fall apart.
Do they really?
I guarantee you. Just look at them. There's no way that's sturdy.
That's the ugliest fucking car I ever saw.
Actually, Lamborghini's now owned by Audi, so who knows? They might be like much better engineered now. I'm talking shit, obviously. I don't know that much about things other than I know a lot about Porsches. But there's a lot of cars I don't understand about. But, God, those things are disgusting. The Avanti, what a piece of shit.
Disgusting. He was trying to sell it to me for $2,000. It's worth 30.
Look at that thing. It's crazy. Lamborghinis are like the biggest, like, here's my dick car you can get, right?
That's the car that the doors open up sideways. You walk out of that naked. Like if I had that car, I'd just walk out with my dick out. Like what, bitches? Ripping up $20 bills as you go.
I'd get a mink jockstrap.
Oh, your boy sent this. Datsusara sent this fanny packs.
Oh, really?
I got my fanny pack filled to the brim with reed.
He's got giant fanny packs.
Bro, those are great fanny packs. And they fit me.
They're really good
great.
for the if you travel on the road, you can get a lot of stuff in them. Yeah.
No, and that's true. Your glasses, your license, your passport.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
You don't have one of those.
No. My plane tickets.
Poor Canadians. They have to come down to America to see you.
And they have a great time.
Yeah.
Don't get them wrong. It's a road trip. That's
why
you
I do Buffalo?
Yeah, I do Buffalo, Toledo. I try to really give them the benefit. Seattle.
Detroit. Have you done Detroit?
I do Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids. I'm trying to get to Ann Arbor next year.
Ann Arbor, we did that once. Did I do that one? I did that once with, I think, Ari. I did it Ann Arbor back in the day. That's a college town, right? Comedy club down there?
Yeah, you did it with some. Yeah. I remember.
I did it with Segura.
You came back and told me to call. You called them.
Yeah,
they're
fun
good people.
Fun fucking club. Fun. Yeah, there's some good spots where people can come down. The Canadians can come down. You can't do Seattle either.
What are you gonna do, dog? You know what I'm saying? I can't do Idaho either.
You would fucking tear Seattle apart. It's so sad. You can't get into Washington State.
They're still breaking my balls, too.
Can you work that out? I thought you already had that almost worked out like 2 years ago.
You know what, man? They want a bunch of cash, and they still want me to go up there and surrender myself. So
fuck all that.
I'm not surrendering myself. I ain't fucking...
Surrendering yourself? Yeah. What does that even mean?
Come on in and turn yourself in, and we'll put you through the process. 12 hours in the holding tank. I got shit to do. I ain't going to King County fucking jail for that shit.
12 hours in a holding tank?
Yeah,
Why would it's not like you're some threat to society. Why do they have to put you in a holding tank? What kind of weird formality is that? Like, sorry, we have to cuff you. Well, wait a minute. You know I'm not.
And I have no failure to appears. Like I've always gone to court. I don't have a failure. I even went to court with an alias. Like, I used an alias one time when I got arrested. That's the class I got. I covered the spread. When they arrested me, I gave them, like, Joe Rogan's name. And not so you wouldn't get a warrant, I went down there and did the 16 hours community service in the AIDS unit, painting for the AIDS people. So next time you look at me and tell me I got no fucking character, think of that. And 10 years later, I go to eat dinner with that guy. And he's like, did I ever tell you I got pulled over and I had a warrant in Colorado? I got arrested in Colorado for shoplifting? No way. I just kept eating my fucking meal. Poor guy. But at least he didn't get arrested. I did his fucking time for him. I did my fucking thing.
That is so ridiculous.
Can you imagine getting arrested in Boulder? I think about the words you told me about Boulder once you go. I was driving into Boulder with my wife, and I kept thinking, this must have been a candy store for Joey Diaz. How do you get arrested and they let you out without a license?
They're all like barefoot yoga people.
Listen to me. I was in jail for 3 weeks as Jose Diaz, waiting bail for kidnapping. I sat in there from November 18th to December 9th to 10th. I had the jail wired. You do know that. You do know that I could just go up to the guard and say, I need to make a long-distance call, and he'd let me out. Everybody else had to sign a list. You do know that. You do know I was smoking weed in there, and I had all access to Kool-Aid because I don't like milk.
You don't like milk?
I hate fucking milk. I like milkshakes, not milk. I had all access. Do you know I got arrested 3 months? Not even Joe Rogan. I got arrested a month after I made bail, and they put me back in that jail, and I went back as Jimmy. And everybody was calling me Jimmy. No. My name on the fingerprint was the alias, and they're fingerprinting me, calling me Joey. How you doing, Joey? How's it been lately? I see you're back in here. Meanwhile, on that card, it blatantly says Jimmy.
So they didn't read the card?
No.
They just assumed it was you, but you went in with someone else's...
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then I called the girl. They said, we can't let you out without a license. So
driver's license?
Yeah. I didn't even have the license for that name. In those days, there was no paperwork on me at all. If you arrested me, guess. You always like Jeopardy, right? Here's your chance to beat Jeopardy. You get no prizes. I never carried a license on me in those days. Till this day, I hate that bulge in my pocket. I fucking hate it.
So what'd you do?
So I wouldn't bring an ID with me. So I could be anybody when you arrested me.
Right.
I could be a fucking penguin for all you fucking.
So you just had nothing on
Nothing. So they made me call. So I called my girlfriend at the time, and I go, "Hey, how you doing? This is James." She's like, "Who?" I go, "This is James. I took you out to dinner a couple weeks ago. I lost my license." She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm just, the cops right there. I'm like, "I lost my fucking license, and these cops won't let me out unless somebody comes down here and lets me out." Now, she knew the kid I was talking about. You follow me? She always heard me talking about him. So I said, James. And she goes, "Okay, James, this the last name?" And I go, "Yeah." And she went down there. They brought her in. They said, "What's his name?" "James." "Where's he live?" She told them. And they go, "Okay, we'll let you out." And that was it. They gave me paperwork, and 4 days later, I turned myself in. I went. I stood in court. I got charged. I pled guilty because I didn't want to fuck with it. I didn't want to take a shoplifting thing to trial. They had me.
Right.
And I fucking did the community service at the AIDS unit.
Under this guy's name.
Under this guy's name. I did all 16 hours of the fucking community corrections. But I met a cop that was there. See, everything works itself onto the other. Because when I was there was a cop that would do a detail there. In those days, the police, that AIDS unit was getting death threats from like militant people in Boulder, people up in the hill. And they had a cop there, and I would talk to the cop every day. Talk to the cop a little bit. "Hey, how you doing, officer?" And we talk about this and that. And one day, I got into a beef. I had 2 felonies, and my ex-fucking boyfriend thought he was tough with me. And I said, "You know what? I got to smack this guy, but if I get him, I got to get him good." And I went to meet him, and I fucking smacked him. Guess who was the first cop on the job? The dude from the AIDS unit. This guy's holding on to his face. He came, he asked me, "Joey, what happened?" I told him the truth. They gave me a ticket. So life is a circle, my friend.
What kind of ticket do you get for slapping someone?
He got a ticket, too. He got a ticket. I got a misdemeanor assault, and he got using a racial slur outside the city limits of Boulder.
Oh, is that really the case?
That's really
so
the case.
Boulder's always been like that.
Yeah, because the football players in '85, those football players that were really powerful, that those teams that won the national championship, there was always beef with them in Boulder. The cops always had beef with them. So there was a couple incidents. There was Canavis McGee. He just smacked the motherfucker's eyeball out of his head. At Todo's. You think I'm kidding you? I'm not cracking no jokes. He broke his eye socket. 6'5", 245.
With a smack.
With a smack.
Jesus.
A Stockton slap, eyeball went out of his fucking head.
Well, he might have had a ring on.
And then another lady called J.J. Flanagan a nigger, and he punched her in the face. So they dropped the charges because she said a racial slur.
That's hilarious.
So
that a woman can call a guy a nick and just get punched in the face.
Oh, he slapped her, so they called it the J.J. Flanagan rule. So
that is so crazy.
When I got arrested for that racial thing, I told him he called me a spick, which he did in front of my daughter. So I smacked him.
So wait a minute, did the football player smack her or punch her?
I think he smacked her, J.J. Flanagan. On the street corner in the Pearl Street Mall or something.
That's how strong that word is.
Just smack.
And
it's the only word that has a letter. Like, you could kind of say the F word, but most people say fuck.
But he was still, this is still 88. This is 88. This is 90. These are the times when they were coming down on CU football, but they had a lot of shit going on. Like, there's a 30 for 30.
Oh, really?
There's
Okay.
a great for 30 for 30.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think Boulder's always been so liberal?
Because they want to be. They had that right to be. These are people that want to live. The Boulder now, I might as well go to Santa Monica. It's the same fucking people.
What do you mean?
It's the same people. That was not the Boulder when I got there in 1980. Not even close.
What's the difference?
I don't know what the Gentiles, Starbucks. That's not what Boulder was supposed to be. Boulder was totally brought up to be very much establishment. Very, people who have soap companies.
Right.
People who have shirts with designs of the Grateful Dead. But that's what it is.
Right.
If that's what it is, let that be that.
Well, there's a bunch of people in Boulder that'll just go Democrat no matter what.
Which means?
They just vote Democrat.
Oh,
they don't vote Republican ever. So, like, when I was there, it was during the Obama election, after he got elected for the first term. That's when I was there. And I was like, it's just so weird that there's so many different people that have the same thing on their front lawn. It's Obama, Obama, Obama. Like everywhere you look, you didn't see any Republican candidates on anybody's lawns. You just didn't see that.
What is the rest of Colorado like?
Way Republican, way more Republican. The rest of Colorado's like cowboys and shit. Denver's kind of a mixture. Denver, you get a little bit of everything.
Is it sort of like Austin, Texas? Like that sort of like...
No. Because Austin is more like cowboy funky. Austin's different. Austin has like a lot of badass music comes from Austin. Fucking Gary Clark Jr. comes from Austin.
Yeah, but the state of mind of Boulder and Austin were pretty much similar, representing their states.
Right, but you can't compare them because Boulder's only 100,000 people. It's a tiny-ass place. Austin's 1 million.
What's the population of Boulder today?
100,000.
Still.
It's tiny.
You
can't build. They don't let you build. They got that place locked down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They
buy up open space.
Yeah, Boulder always wanted to be different than everybody else.
Yeah.
When I first went to Boulder, I first peaked at Boulder July of '83, and I was like, I'll never come to this fucking place.
Too boring?
I was from New York City, guy.
Get us the population, Jay.
And all of a sudden, I'm dealing with people with slippers on.
The metro's about 300,000, but
it's 100,000 in the metro's 300,000.
Yeah, but it's
oh, okay. So
it's estimated it's about 100,000.
Where you going, Joey? What are you doing? Stepping back to chew? You were in the middle of a story. Yeah, Austin's a totally different animal. Austin is much more like.
I just meant in the way like Texas is very Republican.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there's a lot of Republicans in Austin. Yeah, Austin's not entirely liberal. Austin's a mixture. It's a weird mixture. Boulder's not much of a mixture. Boulder, like Greg Fitzsimmons said it best. He's like, it's just too one note. He liked Denver because we were talking about like how amazing Colorado is, and he did a weekend at the Comedy Works. He's like, you know what? I could fucking live here. He goes, I don't really say that about many places, but I could live there. And we were talking about Boulder, and he's like, I think Boulder's just a little too one note. They're a little too college influenced, super liberal, social justice warrior type, vegan, barefoot, handcrafted, all that nonsense.
Right.
You know, there's like a lot of...
The People's Republic of Boulder.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. The People's Republic of Boulder. But that has an attraction.
Yeah. Oh, it's
To
it's
me,
peaceful.
it was an attraction.
They're very nice
liked
people.
it. At that time in my life, Boulder just meant something to me. It meant peace of mind. I don't know what it
Well,
meant.
the place itself is so fucking beautiful. I mean, you're there in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and you just sit. Sometimes you just, like, you go to Boulder, what's that street, that Mall Street? Pearl Street.
Pearl Street Mall.
And when you just look up and you see, you're looking at fucking, you leave the street and you look up, you're looking at, like, mountains. It's the Rocky Mountains right there. Like, you're in this beautiful, amazing spot. And the people, it's not that many people. I think that's a big thing. I think when you get too many people in a place, that it gets annoying, that you fucking don't appreciate each other as much. Just too many fucking people. There's 3 million people. 5 million
Boulder's
people.
grown a lot since I left in '94.
It has, but
years.
Can't grow much more than it's already grown. What they've done is amazing, is buy up so much open space and make it super difficult to put up apartment buildings. And people are like, that's bullshit. We need affordable housing. You drive to Boulder, stupid.
Fucking
drive
beautiful. Just fucking beautiful.
Part of the Denver metro area is included in that 300,000. It's
okay, like Arvada and places like that. Yeah.
Well, it's like
it's awesome.
Longmont, not Littleton, Longmont, Lafayette.
Mm-hmm. You know what's the hidden gem? Evergreen. Evergreen's the shit.
Evergreen's the shit.
God damn, they have some views. Evergreen has some ridiculous views where you just tucked in with like this giant elk herd that walks down through the middle of town. They had a giant elk herd walking through the middle of the street. And a buddy of mine moved there, and he was living in Vegas before, and he was asking about Colorado. I said, you got to check out Evergreen. And he went there once and bought a house, immediately moved. And he texted me that these elk, they get in the middle of the street, and someone who was from out of town, apparently, was like beeping and trying to get the elk out of the road and like revving his engine because he was in a rush. And some old cowboy got out of his truck, walked up to dude's car window, punched him through the car window, and then got back in his truck. Because the guy was harassing the elk herd.
God.
Yeah, that's no joke, dude. That's really what happens in Evergreen. This is a herd of elk walking down the middle of the street, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it. And because the people in the town itself, I mean, they don't really hunt them when they do that. So the elk feel super calm about walking on the highway in front of everybody. Because if they were in the woods with you like that, they would fucking bolt if they saw a person. If they smelled you, they would bolt. But meanwhile, these things have chosen to go like by the road. It's interesting too because they don't recognize people as predators in those situations. It's like people around urban areas aren't predators, but people in the mountains are predators. It's real weird.
So for generations, that like a group of elks has just been walking down the street.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Not only that, I mean that's the case everywhere. Like in Yellowstone, there was a video that someone sent me today. I don't think I retweeted it. Someone sent me. I didn't watch it. I wasn't getting self-service. But there's a video that someone sent me today about some woman who got too close to an elk in Yellowstone. I guess it was real recently. But for the most part, they don't worry about people. They're worried about wolves and grizzly bears and shit. They see a person, they go, because no one's hunted in Yellowstone for over 100 years. So elk see people there, and they're like, "What's up, dude? How you doing, man? Got some carrots for me? Is this it?"
Yeah.
Yellowstone elk decides woman is too close for comfort. Yeah, go.
Oh no.
Oh. Yes. Did you get that on video?
Oh, she just got launched.
Video. I was just gonna tell you, ma'am. Could you please?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Did you get that on video?
Oh, he didn't get it. Look, she went sailing.
With the video.
Whoa.
I was just gonna tell you, you're too close to that elk, and that's why. 25 yards, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. That's the I just got humbled, sir. That's a certain kind of sir.
Have you seen the video of the hunter getting beaten by a deer?
Yeah, I've seen. There's a bunch of those.
Kicks him in the face.
Yeah, they'll fuck you up, especially in the rut. They're horny and they think you're cock blocking them. They get mad, jack you.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, people have died from deer. A lot of people have died because they get gored. Like they're they're either hunting them or they're hiking them, or whatever reason they maybe like that lady. They get stupid. Like she was lucky that was either a cow elk or that was an elk that didn't have antlers yet, like because they shed their antlers and then they grow them back. So she got lucky because if that was a big bull elk, there's one.
This is the one I saw. He just kicks him.
That guy has dog shit jiu-jitsu. First of all, he should be spinning for one of those rear legs. You try to get him in a heel hook on that real. I kimura'd a deer's leg and snapped it in half after it was already dead.
Jesus.
I was like, I wonder if this would work on a deer. And snapped its leg when Callan and I had went hunting in Montana. So I feel real confident that I could heel hook a deer. Fuck it up.
Have you lost your fucking mind? Heel hook a deer.
I take his back. Take his back.
Yeah, sure.
Take that fucking deer's back.
Then you're in the hospital with a ball and a head brace on. Fucking. By the way, my thoughts for Eddie Bravo is probably just recovering right now.
Yeah, he's in the hospital today. Eddie got his discs replaced.
How long does that take now?
I don't think the operation is just a few hours, and the recovery time is ridiculously low. I think in 6 weeks he's allowed to start lifting weights. So 6 weeks his body has to heal up. So I'm talking out of school because I don't know the exact procedure, but I know this is what he told me, is that they're replacing a disc with a titanium disc. They have some sort of a new technology in disc replacement where they used to take the disc out and then they would fuse it together.
Right.
Now instead they'll put an artificial disc, and it's supposed to be just as good as a real disc. And the difference being that, like, when they would fuse those discs, it would limit your mobility pretty drastically because you don't have any articulation in between the two joints. Now that they have this artificial disc, that artificial disc actually moves around, and it allows your spine to be flexible. So one of the guys from school, Victor, got it done, and apparently he's never been better. He feels great, no pain at all, and it was bothering him for a long time. And Eddie's been bothering his for almost as long as I've known him because he does so much stuff from his back. You know, it's all guard work, and he's getting stacked all the time and compressed all the time, and not the most diligent about stretching the back out early in his career. Just you
stretch it before and after you do jiu-jitsu?
You definitely should warm up before.
Right.
But the big thing is mobility training, meaning doing things like bending down, grabbing the back of your heel, with your 4 fingers on both sides and trying to put your pinkies together and then extending your legs. And you're popping your back and stretching your back out. For me, that's big. Hanging by your ankles is big. Any sort of decompression, anything that alleviates pressure. I have one that I put on my neck, and it's like I'm hanging myself. I go click, 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 and I'm like literally hanging a good percentage of my weight from my neck. Then I have a bunch of them in the back. I have different decompression devices in the back. I've got the reverse hyper, which strengthens your back, and also it's like an active moving decompression of the back. That's created by that Louis Simmons guy that from Westside Barbell. Just genius guy. He had a back injury too, and he needed to get it fixed, and they wanted to cut him. And he's like, I think I can figure this out. I think there's got to be an exercise that strengthens this instead of surgery. And so that's what he came up with. But see, in Eddie's position, I don't even know if that would have helped because Eddie's was so far gone. He didn't have any disc left. There was there was nothing there.
Do you know at Alberto's they do the 12 o'clock class, and at 1:15 it's a mobility class for a half hour. And
Is that kettle jitsu guy?
No.
But isn't there a guy that...
Yes. Now, but he's got tick fit.
Tick fit.
He's got tick fit.
What does that mean?
Tick fit is that new training with the bats. I don't know
how do you say tick?
I don't know.
How do you spell it?
TICFIT, I think.
Tick, huh?
Tick fit, and it's the stuff with the bat.
Okay, like Eskrima, like that kind of stuff?
No.
No, like police baton?
What do they have on it now? What do they do for...
Oh, you mean maces? Like steel mace? Or
no,
club?
They have the club.
I feel like we're playing charades.
The club. I'm not good
metal
with that
club?
stuff. Yeah,
those are
they
great.
do something with a club, and they have a class at 9.
Oh, okay.
And then they have a class at 1, and they have a class at 6:30. What he's been doing lately, he's like, you know what, man? My 1's been light. Why don't I come out here and do mobility with you guys from 1:15 to 1:45 after the class when you're all warmed up already after jiu-jitsu? And he just does, squat, touch the ground, lift your foot down, then go up and switch legs. Just stuff like that. 6 exercises, 3 minutes with a thing, and you're out of there. You stretch and you're out of there. It's no big deal. I mean, you break a sweat on some of them, Downward dog to something else, into a Hindu push-up.
Well, you know what's the problem with jiu-jitsu is that it's fun. And when it's fun, you're going in there and you're getting smashed all the time. And overall, like, you don't give yourself a lot of time to recover from those rolling sessions. And there's a lot of little micro injuries in those rolling sessions. And some of those micro injuries become chronic after a while, like Eddie's back, or like for me, it was my neck. Just like over and over again, you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're, it's sore. And the next day, you just keep training. You develop scar tissue. Your discs get compressed. And then you start getting weird shit like numbness. Like some guys get like numb feet. Like Cade, my friend Cade, his lower leg is still numb. Still numb. My hands, I was getting numb hands. Boss Rutan's got like his whole like neck area is fucked. He's had several surgeries in his neck. And he's got at least 2 discs, maybe 3 discs frozen, and fucking like the discs are removed and the bones are fused in his neck. Oof.
I try to take a day in between, except the days I have to go on the road. The weeks that I have to go on the road, I want to get 3 in. So I just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and get on a plane Thursday. But the weeks I'm in town all week, I'll do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then sometime, like this week, I did Sunday and I went Monday. But Sunday's very light. It's just 3-minute rolls and guard, pass stuff. He's a great guy. He doesn't really... Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the hard one. Sundays I go because the guy is just so great technically. I always learn one little stupid thing. Just one little stupid thing. You roll like 2 or 3 times and you're out of there.
Right.
So, but I always try to take... Even if I want to go that day, even if I feel okay and I'm not sore, I'll take the day off. Because I don't want to go every day. I don't want to do that. I'll do a light kettlebell workout or something.
But then there's other people that think you just keep doing it and eventually your body hardens up. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you approach it. I know Bourdain does it every day. He trains every day. Sometimes does twice a day. He'll take a private and then he'll take a group class.
Well, it's an age thing. It's the time barrier. And it's also, like for me, it's the weight. When you judo throw me, it's 300 pounds. It's 295. Right. You do that 10 times. The next day, something's going to be rattled in my fucking hips.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last week, we had a guy, Enrique Machado. He's Jacare's coach. And in the Amazon, you got to take a plane, a boat, and a fucking bicycle. You know, like I'm not trying to be cute. It's the truth. We had Alberto on. Remember, Alberto was saying that the one place in Brazil that you got to train 10 hours, then you got to walk a mile, then you got to go across in one of these things. And some days somebody would steal the paddle. Can you imagine?
Jesus.
10 hours of fucking around, an hour-mile walk, and now somebody steals the fucking paddle. I can't even paddle to my fucking house.
And there was shit in the water.
And there was shit in the water because the house, the sewage would go into the water.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Then you wonder why they got Zika and everybody's head's getting big in Brazil and shit. Everybody's
Small.
That's what happened now. I think that's what they gave Jose Aldo against the fight against McGregor, the Zika virus. He came out, they were all fucked up. They had him crying after the show and shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They had a camera in the room. I'm telling you. Dana found a way to give him the Zika virus and shit.
Could you imagine how bad the population would be if there was no viruses? If there was no diseases? If diseases didn't kill anybody? I mean, how many people are killed? Let's just take a guess. How many people are killed every year by disease? Let's guess. 2 million? 3 million? How many people do you think?
Probably around there, but it's not in America. I think it's in, like...
Right.
Did you see that picture, by the way, of that ladder in China? That the kids
Ladder
were
in
climbing
China.
up? Kids were climbing up. It's like places like that. Like it's like a 2,000-foot bamboo ladder that like 6-year-olds are climbing up.
Why are they doing that?
It's the only way to get to their town. So I think that's
What?
Yeah, have you seen that, Jamie?
Jesus Christ. A 2,000-foot ladder?
It might not be feet. It might be. Look at this.
Oh, my God. Children in China who climb 2,500-foot cliff to get to school may be given stairs. Oh. Pussies.
They're 6 years old. So it's places like this,
God.
I think.
Look at this, dude. They're climbing with their backpacks on. You imagine sending your little baby, and your baby has to climb 2,500 feet on this janky-ass wooden ladder that looks like it was made when Columbus was sailing. Look how fucking wanky that ladder looks. That's insane. See if there's any other pictures. That is fucking bananas. Whoa, these poor kids. They got a hard look in their face, man. Jesus, that's so crazy. I wonder, you know, there's one fucking weak-ass bitch kid that starts crying, I can't make it, and then he falls and
I
knocks
would have
everybody
fallen.
down.
Not in China.
Not in China, they don't make it.
No, not these.
They don't make
kids.
it. Those kids don't make it. That is bananas.
So yeah, I think it's places like this where people are dying of viruses because you never really hear about it in America that often.
Well, people definitely die of the flu here in America.
Oh,
That's
okay.
still happening. I bet thousands of people die every year from the flu. But as far as how many people die from diseases worldwide, I'm going to say every year, I want to say 20 million. How many people?
Well, it depends on like what kind of disease, because there's lots of disease. Cardiovascular disease is
Oh,
the
yeah,
number one
that's
killer.
different. But that's
So,
that's just like poor health.
it says though in 2012, an estimated 56 million people died. Just died.
In America?
I think this is the whole world.
No.
56 million. A million.
In the whole
if that was
world?
America, that'd be like
In 1 year?
that'd be a sixth of the country dying
Right.
in 1
It
year.
wouldn't happen in just America. But in the whole world, only 56 million people out of 7 billion in
That's
a
an
year?
estimation. I mean, they can't count all of them.
Would you have guessed that would be what it was?
I don't know.
I would have thought it'd been way higher. What would you think, like, for a year? Like, how many people die in a year? Actually, I think 56 million is a pretty big number if you really stop and think about it. And they're not counting anybody in Africa.
No.
Yeah, it's
Good luck counting.
35 million people in Canada. That's twice that at least.
Yeah.
Or almost twice.
I guess that makes sense.
When you say disease, this is HIV.
Yeah,
This
like
is- okay.
syphilis. Anybody dying of
Syphilis,
crabs?
Flu. Zika.
Yeah, Zika. I don't think Zika is really killing many people. It just fucks up kids. Just really fucks women up when they get. Apparently, you can get it and not even know you have it. You get pregnant. That fucks your kid up.
Non-communicable disease is responsible for 38 million of those.
Okay, so that's like heart disease and
cardiovascular alone,
Cancer.
2.6 million.
But what I'm interested in is like malaria and shit like that.
HIV decreased slightly from 1.7 deaths in 2 million to 1.5 million, so only 2,000 or 200,000 less.
1.5 million people die every year from HIV?
Diarrhea is no longer among the top 5 leading causes of death.
Diarrhea and AIDS, neck and neck.
People die from diarrhea.
Of course, yeah, they get dehydrated. But how bizarre is it that AIDS kills that many people? HIV death decreased 1.7 million to 1.5 million in 2012. That's still crazy. Like, when was the last time you heard about someone in America dying from HIV? You don't hear about it very often.
Don't they say complications?
Yeah, they usually just
HIV is
talk
the
about
nucleus,
pneumonia.
but something
Right.
later gets a deficiency or something.
Yeah, that definitely can be it.
You know, my uncle got whatever with cancer 4 years ago.
Got whatever with cancer?
He got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, okay.
The crazy one on Western,
really?
the one I pulled the gun on.
Yeah?
You know, he's still alive.
That happens.
No chemo.
What does he do?
Changed his whole diet. No sugar. Everything is organic.
Really?
Everything is organic. Everything is vegan.
And what happened?
He's still alive. He still works the door at his bar. He just bitch slapped somebody about 3 months ago. He still walks 5 miles a day in Griffith Park, and he still hits the bag for an hour.
What's his cancer like? Do you get it checked out, or does he just say, fuck it?
Says it's from testosterone.
His cancer's from
He's been
testosterone?
doing testosterone since he was 35. He had 3 households going. He's got 3 households going.
What do you mean?
He had the wife and the kid.
Oh, you told me that.
And he cheated on her. He had the hooker for 30 years, who he still has a relationship with. And then he fucked her cousin. And she had a kid that lives in the backyard. Boris lives in the backyard. They got him in the back.
Oh my God.
3 households.
3
Oh, my
households.
God.
And now it's just for...
Do they all know about each other at least?
Everybody knows.
That's good.
Everybody knows.
'Cause otherwise it'd be too much pressure.
The one wife just brought the kid home after he fucked the cousin. Because it's like, all right, he was fucking the straight one, and he fucked the cousin. Once she had the kid, and she goes, you went back with my cousin. She just walked the kid to his house one day. She goes, I don't want this fucking kid. This is your problem. And she's never seen the kid since.
Oh, my God.
And my uncle's got him in the back like Boris.
Oh, my God.
Fucking whipping him and shit.
Jesus
Get the
Christ.
wood.
That is so crazy.
It's fucking 3 households. I have a hard time with my daughter and my wife. Never mind 3 fucking households.
Like, do you think a guy like that does that just for a distraction? Or is he just retarded?
He's just retarded.
Keeps
my
making
uncle's
mistakes.
just retarded. He's retarded. And now he's banging a new one that's like 40.
And how old is he?
78.
He's got a 40-year-old?
A 40-year-old who
Very
he hooks
good.
up with on Thursdays,
Very
and he takes
nice.
it to the fish market you go to.
That's a weird place to take a girl.
Redondo.
Real weird place to take a girl.
Well, he takes it down. There's a fish market. So he eats
understand.
all the natural fish and shit.
Right.
And he fucks the shit out of it, and he brings
Wow.
it home. He gives her some of
Damn.
that cancer dick. He gives some of that heavy-duty cancer dick, and he rocks the world that way. So the whole family's concerned because they know when he punches the ticket, he's going to leave all his money to her.
Oh.
So everybody's pissed off. Like, we don't know where he goes on Thursdays. I do. You better get your clocks fixed.
Isn't that funny that people worry about that? They're worried they like someone more than them when it comes to the money. Where's the money going?
You know, man, it's one of the ugliest. I just got a call from a school teacher, and he goes, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you. He goes, I've just had the hardest 2 months of my fucking life. My mom died. What a fucking nightmare. What a fucking nightmare death is. And then everybody, because nobody gives a fuck. And all of a sudden, it's like Prince. Prince dies, no will, $2 billion, 6 motherfucking savages.
He had $2 billion?
I don't know what he had. 250 million.
Do you
fucking...
think he really had no will? I've heard a lot of things talking about how involved in copyright he was with his own music, which is especially why he changed his name. And to think he would not think to have a will seems really strange.
There's some people who think it's bad luck.
Yeah, Prince was crazy.
Prince was crazy.
Like, you think that would be odd for him to not have a will? I don't know. I don't think it would be that odd. He was so odd anyway.
If being that invested in your money,
right?
Because that's what he was worried about with knowing all this thing. That's the last time.
Maybe he didn't want to be valuable. Maybe he didn't want to be valuable when he was dead to family members and shit. Maybe he didn't want to like have that. He's like, who cares what happens to my money when I'm dead? The problem is the government gets a big chunk of it. If you don't have it written off. If you don't have it given off to various family members, I think the government gets a fat piece.
But don't they still get a piece?
They definitely get a piece. They get a piece. Not only do they get a piece, they get a piece from money that you've already been taxed on. Like, say if Joey makes $1 million, right, and Joey has $1 million in the bank and he leaves it all to you. Joey didn't make $1 million to get $1 million. He had to make way more than $1 million. So he probably had to make closer to $2 million. Because when you get over $250,000, tax percentage is like 40-something%, and then sales tax and all the other taxes that you have to take into consideration, state tax, all this different stuff, right? Property tax. Think about all the taxes you pay to save up $1 million. It's a lot of money. So if he leaves out that $1 million to you, you don't get the $1 million. You have to pay tax on that $1 million. So you have to pay tax on money he's already been taxed on. It's not like unless he gives you gold coins. But even if he gives you gold coins, you owe the value of those gold coins in tax. You owe a percentage in tax. So
let's say I have a safe.
Gross.
I have a safe. And every day I put a gold coin in there. I put money in the bank. I got $500,000 in the bank. I got $800,000 in savings. But I probably got like $2 million back there in coins that nobody knows about. I leave them to Joe Rogan. Would Joe Rogan pay taxes on that?
Yes,
shit?
I would.
You would, legit.
Yes, I would.
Even if nobody would.
Well, if otherwise it wouldn't be mine unless you'd written it off to me, right? So once you write it off to me, then it becomes mine. So if it becomes mine, that's some money that someone just gave me. I got to pay tax on it.
So,
Uncle Sam is just a robber. Just like, oh, would you get a gift, Joey? You get a gift from Lee? That's nice. That's nice. How come I didn't get a gift? Where's my fucking gift?
But what if
I want my fucking gift?
What if Uncle
I
Sam
locked you in
didn't
a cage.
What if Uncle Sam don't know about that $2 million? Would you rat?
Well, you
yourself?
have to figure out a way that you have that $2 million. See, if someone gives it to you, what is this?
Gift tax.
Gift tax. Okay, how's that work? The following gifts are considered to be taxable gifts when they exceed an annual gift exclusion amount of $14,000. Taxable gifts count as part of $5.3 million in 2014. You're allowed to give away during your lifetime before you must pay the gift tax. What? Hold the fuck on. Gifts subjects to the... So if I give you something that is expensive, you have to pay a gift tax?
If it's over a certain amount of money.
That's disgusting.
I think it's $10,000 or something.
That's disgusting. It really is. It's really sad. That's just sad. It's sad that we live in this fucking country that thinks it's okay to steal money like that from people. Like, say if you don't have anything and you don't make a lot of money and a guy gives you $20,000, you have to give the government a piece of that $20,000. Fuck them. Fuck them. I mean, fuck that. That's bullshit.
What about when when I first moved here, it was my first real adult job, and I figured out I was working 30% of the time for the government. They take 30% directly out, and it blew my mind. And then I don't know what's going on with Trump, but in the last election, I think Mitt Romney finally came out and said he paid something like 17%. Yeah, which is it's so sad. It frustrates people when the rich people can have all those deductions and pay 17%. We're paying 30%.
Well, there's tax shelters, and then there's also storing money overseas. That's where things get real weird, because there's a lot of super fucking uber rich people that have a fuckload of money stored overseas, and by doing that, and by these overseas tax shelters, they can fucking hide a lot of money. You know who's got that going on? Remember that dude who had those late night commercials? The weight loss secrets they don't want you to know about. Kevin Trudeau. Remember that Kevin Trudeau guy?
Yeah.
That guy made a fucking grip of money ripping people off and vanished. And he went to jail. He went to jail, but the money vanished. There's a lot, he's claiming he doesn't know where any of it is. And so they lock him up. They're going to lock him up for 10 years. But then once he gets out, that guy's going to get in a fucking raft. He's going to pedal out to the middle of the ocean, get picked up by a yacht, and swept off to Costa Rica, or wherever the fuck he's got that money hidden. A lot of these really rich dudes, they figure out a way to preserve as much of that money as possible. That's why a guy like Bernie Sanders comes along and they fucking freak out. They go, shut him up. Shut him up. What the fuck is he saying? He wants more people to pay how much? And then there's rates. He was in favor of say if you make a certain amount a year, if you make more than $15 million a year, let's just make up a number, then every dollar over that, they could tax you by some stupid amount.
Wasn't it 90%?
90%. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. And he said he didn't think that was too much. The idea is you shouldn't be winning the game that much. But the game is about money. And the idea is like, well, we should probably control how much money people make, because it shouldn't be just about money. It should be about productivity, how much you contribute. It shouldn't be that you figure out how to move numbers around in some accounts, and because of that, you've made $3 billion. Like, what have you done? What have you actually contributed to society? You've figured out some weird little loopholes and little sneaky ways you can move ones and zeros around on servers, and because of that, you've made $1 billion. Like, so his idea is that that shouldn't be possible, and that after, it's not like you can't be rich, but everything after like $15 million a year, you gotta fucking just give it all back. But people are not gonna work that hard. They're going to get to that $15 million a year mark, and they're going to slow it down and back it off.
Just go on vacation, yeah. Why
and
not?
then everything. Well, it slows productivity, because those crazy fucks, as dark as it is, like, they have to be watched. There's got to be some regulation, because greedy fucking people get greedy. But if you don't have their ability to push it to the limit, they don't have that ability, we'll have a lot less things that are new, a lot less innovation. There's be a lot less. The companies, like huge companies like Apple and companies where you buy like awesome shit, it's going to be a lot less of them. People are not going to push that hard, because they're not going to get the benefits that you get crazy benefits when you're some Elon Musk character. When you've got billions and billions of dollars, there's a crazy benefit to that. Not just a benefit in terms of like being a guy who's like an innovator and someone who makes cool shit, but there's also benefits financially. Like, that guy lives in a castle, right? He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He flies around private jets. If you're limiting people and limiting the amount of money they can make that drastically, you're going to lose a lot of those people. It's not a good argument for going against sort of organizing wealth to the point where wealth distribution, but it's the reality of human nature. People aren't going to work that hard if they can't make a grip of money. They want to make fat cash, Joey Diaz.
But again, I put a box of $2 million and I leave it to you. I think at the fucking wake, my wife gives you $2 million. And
I have to pay.
Would you?
Have to.
Why?
Because you go to jail.
How would
Are you
they
chewing
find
gum?
out? Yeah.
Don't do that.
How would they find out?
They're going to find out because I have $2 million all of a sudden.
No, they're not.
What am I going to do with the money? Just keep it in a bag?
No.
But you money has like they could find out. But if here's the thing: if they found out, you're going to jail.
You'd have to trust the person.
If you have $2 million, listen. If you have $2 million, and you go to jail, you would give that $2 million back to get out of jail. You would.
I know somebody who died and left $1 million cash. He was an illegal type, shady character. The money went through 3 different places. Now the sister's got it, and she never paid taxes. She just came from Cuba.
Just spending a little bit here and there.
That's it. If I gave you $2 million, the first thing you do is go to Lee. Lee's got a restaurant on Ventura Boulevard, Angelina's. I don't know what he grosses out of there, but you go to Lee and you go, I'm going to give you $100,000 a year. You're going to pay me $60. I'm not going to show up to work. You're going to pay me $60,000 a year and give my money back, and I'll pay taxes on that stupid amount. I ain't giving nobody $500,000 that you left me.
That's an interesting way to do it. Have like a no work job.
Yeah, you have to pay somebody. You
benefits.
Keep 40. Well,
right.
I can't do it. It's illegal. $40,000. Shut your fucking mouth. Till the day I die. Till the day I die, you get an extra 40 off me just for doing the paperwork this much.
Well, that would work if you could do it that way.
There's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. Somebody leaves me $2 million fucking dollars. That's not in the television industry. This guy sold coke or whatever.
Here's the problem.
I ain't saying dick.
That person.
I ain't saying dick, dog.
That person has to figure out a way to justify getting that money. Like, where'd you get that $100,000? Where'd that go?
Nobody knows. Listen, there's tons of people that have done shit that have you just said it yourself. Listen, you work hard for your money. You're gonna send money to some fucking Bahamian bank with 2 fucking guys with weapons holding your money. Good fucking luck. Nobody sends over $50 million unless they got $50 million hidden over here. I wouldn't. You see what happened to Johnny Depp in that movie he did with the coke? When he went back down there, the Panamanian government took his fucking money. It took $250 million from him. Blow. That happens all the time. That happens all the fucking time. Those Swiss bank accounts, you trust somebody with your fucking $10 million over there? Really? For me to put $10 million 12 hours from me, I got to have $10 million close by, too. There's got to be some, I know 1,000, if when they watch Narcos, Those fucking Panamanians, whatever they were making so much money they were burying it.
Colombians.
Burying it,
Yeah.
like it was seeds.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just plant the money tree.
Well, they had to figure out where to put it.
Weren't they saying he spent $2,500 a month on rubber bands for it or something crazy?
25 rubber bands. What do you do with that shit? You know how many millions of dollars? How much a month?
$2,500 is what I saw.
On rubber bands. That's
One time he
hilarious.
burnt $1 million just to stay warm.
Jesus Christ.
It was cold that night. He just put money in the thing, lit it, just to stay warm.
I wonder what keeps a guy like that. Here's a perfect example. I mean, it's obviously drug dealing and not capitalism. But what keeps a guy pushing when he's making that much money? What keeps the empire going?
What keeps the guy from Virgin American? What keeps an American? What keeps Trump building and making millions of fucking dollars?
What is it?
Power.
Right.
It's got to be 3 of the 7.
Yeah, you were speaking about addiction to drama earlier. It seems like it would probably be the same thing.
Get your dick sucked. Listen,
Rats ate $1 billion of Pablo Escobar's profits each year. He was earning so much a year, we would write off 10% of the money because rats would eat it in storage or be damaged by water or lost. Holy shit.
Cartel spent 25, and rubber bands to hold the money together.
Oh, my God. Those are crazy stats. But the thing about Escobar is he made more money than he could ever possibly spend, and yet he kept working. He kept wanting that money to come in.
He kept working, and from the little I've seen, people loved him there.
Yeah.
Because he would build soccer stadiums and do all that. I think that's part of the reason why people get annoyed with Trump or whoever you want to say here, because it doesn't seem like they're doing anything.
Well, it's also that thing when you're selling drugs, you get locked up in a business like Escobar was, where he had so much power and so much drugs he was selling. You don't want to give that power to somebody else. So once you've got that whole thing down and you're making all that money, like you must be incredibly reluctant to give that up. I mean, think about how long it took him to put together the network to make the kind of money that he was making towards the end. Very reluctant to just hand that over to somebody else because the business is always going to be there. The demand's always going to be there. The supply's always going to be there. Like, who's making these transactions? You just have to give it to somebody else. And then plus you'd open yourself up to all these other fucking drug dealers becoming just as crazy as you were when you're coked up and nuts.
I read one of his books. I read one of the books by a Colombian journalist. Like, I just don't read any author. This guy was referred to me like this guy really worked in the trenches. He was an amazing, like, he could have ran any CEO of fucking 500 company.